Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a smooth and peaceful Monday back at the grind. What an episode last night. Sorry it was a little lengthy, but man, great video after great video last night. Get to chat and say what's up. Kevin Kraft is first, and he says, and I'm making sure it doesn't disappear. What's up, Kib Kitty? Thank you for putting that up there. I appreciate it. Everybody can see that when they hop in. You working tonight, Kevin? What's up, Cassie? Pam? Yeah, that's a great movie. It's crazy how many people haven't seen that movie. Uh-oh, causing the poo-poo. If you need to send me anything, you can send it to me on these platforms. Definitely sub to Grizz if you like that intro. I love it. Not buying a damn goat. That's not milk. Ooh. Oh, you're good, Pam. You are 100% fine. I sent him a video of Bert talking to my husband. Was that on Discord? Let me check. Shoot, I can't share it for some reason. Wait, can I? Can you do me a favor, Cassie? Can you send it to me on Facebook? For some reason, it won't let me open it up in its own browser, which is odd because usually I'm able to, so I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's a video? No. It's not too long. It just, whenever I get my stuff through Discord, it usually says open in browser, and then I can click on it, and then it opens it up in my Google Chrome. But for some reason, everything that I click on, it doesn't let me open in browser. Not sure why. Maybe because it's a video. If you can send it to me on the Evil CJ Facebook, and then I can go ahead and display it from there. I should have no problems that way. There it is. I'm so happy. Crime Lions and Lies hit 20K today. I'm excited for it. Okay, let me see here. Give me 1 second. All right, let me go to the screen. We will share this first. Let me hit pause, rewind, turn the sound on, and go full screen. Share this tab instead. All right, give me 1 second here. Maybe I need to go on the side. There we go. We'll have to go on the side for this one. Okay, here we go. Wait, I'm in full screen, right? Enter full screen.
Yeah.
Stupid StreamYard. Here we go. Sorry. Yeah, I could hear it. StreamYard had it on mute.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of StreamYard bugging.
Well, that sounds terrible.
What's up, SRB?
So
I
then
hope you
what
feel
happened?
better. Yeah, very serious. Look at those eyebrows.
Oh. Yeah.
Aw.
Well, that sounds terrible.
Oh, wow. That's so cute. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh. And then it's so hard because, like, then you want to be like, what's wrong? But they can't tell you. Aw. I bet it did. Why is it doing this? Come on, YouTube. What are you doing? I don't know why it's doing this. All right, is it working? I don't know what's going on with this. What's up, Ruckus? How you doing tonight, man? Shit's acting weird. Look at this, got all this other music shit going on. What the hell? Yeah, that was cute. Thanks, Cassie. Such a cutie. So tonight we're going to be going over Lori. We're going to have a couple updates real quick. That's right. We're going to have some updates. Then we're going to be going into Lori and Tylee's interviews. Then tomorrow night we're going to be going through Alex's and then Alex's 2 ex-wives. We'll be going through all 3 of those tomorrow night. And then if I have time tonight, there's another interview from Colby. And I'm hoping I can get into the Woodcocks interview as well. So if I can't get to the Woodcocks and Colby, then I'm going to end the show with one of them, start tomorrow's show with another. But we're going to get all 7 of those, 8 of those different interviews all tied in the next 2 nights. Yeah, so always appreciate you stopping by. Let me throw the link out there too. And let me see here. I mentioned this awesome lady. So I'll go ahead and throw her link in there. Ruckus, thank you again for hopping in. Appreciate it. I know there's a lot of people on right now. Thanks for hopping in and saying hi. Definitely sub to the man Ruckus. Rocks Podcast. Cassie H. Cassie H is hanging out. So here's Cassie H's links as well. Definitely hit up the Color Street. All the ladies love the Color Street. And Kevin Kraft needs some more love too. We're going to throw out Kevin Kraft's link because he always supports us even if he's hanging out at work. I haven't seen him yet. Yeah, Ruckus is funny as hell. Especially you're addicted, Bob. That's what mamas do, though. You know, they support. So, yeah, we're going to be going into Lori and Tylee's interviews. Now, we're not going to watch the whole thing. I'll put the video links out for the whole thing if you want to. But honestly, the stuff that I'm going to be skipping tonight, it's really them just sitting in a chair. And I think Lori falls asleep. Tylee is just kind of sitting there fumbling around with fingers and hair and just kind of being a bored kid. So, you know, I'll definitely put the links out there if you want the whole link, but I am going to be cutting some of that stuff out just to save for time because I really do want to get to at least Colby's interview at the end of the show and try and fit the Woodcocks in if I can because the Alex interview and then the other two ex-wives, or I should say ex-wife and then widow, those are a little lengthy too. So that's actually going to take up more time than tonight will. So I'm going to hope and try to get Colby and the Woodcocks interviewing tonight. So we're going to start off with a couple updates here. And what's up, Chris? How you doing tonight, man? There's Kevin. That's right, Kel. Good job. So if you'd like to hop up, you're more than welcome. And we'll get started into these interviews here. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and hanging out. I appreciate it. And we'll get that funky space age hypnotic beat back. We'll put that on pause. All right. So let me get into the folder here. And then Chad Daybell. There's a lot of stuff coming out just for the Chad Daybell case now too. So let me see here. I'm sure that'll be ramping up here in the near future. And we'll be covering that one too. Give me one moment here. Just in this Vallow Daybell alone, I have almost 200. It's getting packed in this folder. All right. Oh, yeah. We also have Lori Vallow's nephew, Zach. We have an interview from him. Interview from the lawyer of Joseph Ryan regarding Lori Vallow. An interview with Alec Cox's friend Mary. Yeah. There's a lot of interviews. We might actually be doing a part 3. We might actually, friends and family, we might be doing after that. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off. with the Vallow Daybell timeline real quick in case somebody's just hopping in here and getting ready to check these out. Is it going to do it or what? Thank you, Pam. Just frickin' StreamYard. This is crazy. I do not understand why it keeps doing this. Thank you, Kel. This is like getting crazy now.
And welcome to the Sunday News at 10. I'm Doug Petcash. It's taken 3 years to get to this point. Lori Vallow's trial is scheduled to start tomorrow morning. She's the Rexburg mom accused of killing 2 of her own children, JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan. She's also charged with conspiracy in the killing of the late wife of her current husband, Chad Daybell. Both face charges for the 3 deaths, but it's Lori who will face a judge and jury starting tomorrow. News Channel 7's Shira Matsuzawa has a timeline now of how we got to here.
Spanning from Idaho to Arizona to Hawaii, this case has captivated the nation since the disappearance of 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, who vanished in September of 2019. Their mother, Lori Vallow Daybell, never reported them missing. But 4 months later, Lori and her husband Chad Daybell were tracked down in Hawaii in January of 2020.
Here, hotel staff members tell me that Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell actually checked out of their hotel rooms here just about 90 minutes ago.
Chad, where are Lori's kids?
Nate Eaton with East Idaho News was in Kauai this weekend right after police served Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell with 2 search warrants. One for this black Ford Explorer the couple was driving around the island, and another for their Kauai townhome where the couple's been living.
They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say? You're over here in Hawaii?
But the mystery surrounding the kids' disappearance started long before Lori and Chad were found in Hawaii. Lori married Chad in Hawaii on November 5th. He's her 5th husband. But before that, she was married to Charles Vallow, and they lived in Arizona. In January of 2019, body camera footage from Arizona police shows Charles pleading to officers for Lori to get help and claiming she was trying to kill him.
Murder today or tomorrow?
But officers determined she was fine. About 5 months later, on July 11th, Lori's brother, Alex Cox, shot and killed Charles in what Alex claimed was self-defense. Body camera footage shows police responding to the home.
Is he hurt or is he alive?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
Lori showed up a short time later.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like,
Hello,
hi,
neighbors.
neighbor, sorry.
The very next month, Lori, Tylee, JJ, Alex, and Lori's niece Melanie moved to Rexburg.
September 8th, 2019, the last time 17-year-old Tylee Ryan is seen. She was on a trip to Yellowstone with her mother, Lori Vallow, and uncle, Alex Cox. A cellular analysis survey team, or CAST, with the FBI analyzed data from Alex's phone. According to the probable cause affidavit, the GPS data points used by CAST are highly accurate, placing a device within 6 meters of its location. On September 9th, one day after the Yellowstone trip, that GPS data puts Alex's phone at Lori's Rexburg apartment between 2:42 a.m. and 3:37 a.m. This is the only time he was at Lori's between midnight and 6 a.m., according to the PCA. A few hours later, 9:21 a.m. until a little after 11 a.m., Alex's phone pings at Chad Daybell's property, specifically placing him behind the home near the barn. Just 14 minutes after Alex leaves, Chad sends a text to his then-wife, Tammy Daybell. The text reads, quote, "I've had an interesting morning. I felt I should burn all the limb debris by the fire pit before it got too soaked by the coming storms. While I did so, I spotted a big raccoon along the fence. I hurried and got my gun, and he was still walking along. I got close enough, one shot did the trick. He's now in our pet cemetery. Fun times." Police state this was suspicious because raccoons are nocturnal. Neighbors of Chad's also reported to police frequent bonfires at Chad's house, which was out of the norm. Fast forward a few weeks to September 22nd, the last time JJ Vallow was seen. Police interviewed Melanie Gibb and her boyfriend David Warwick, who were visiting Lori that weekend. They told police Lori said JJ had turned into a zombie. The next morning, September 23rd, between 8 and 9 a.m., Warwick didn't see JJ and asked where he was. Lori stated he was acting out, so, quote, Alex had come and taken JJ. GPS data once again puts Alex on Chad's property that day from 9:55 a.m. until 10:12 a.m., pinging near the pond.
At the time, Chad was married to Tammy, and they also lived in Rexburg. By this point, Chad and Lori were believed to have some type of relationship. Court documents show they met in 2018 at a religious conference in Utah. Then, on October 19th of 2019, Tammy Daybell died in her sleep. Court records show 10 days before her death, Tammy called 911 and reported a masked man shot at her in her driveway. Court documents later indicate Lori's brother tried to shoot and kill Tammy. Initially, a coroner ruled Tammy died of natural causes, but investigators later reopened the case and exhumed her body on December 11th. One day later, Lori's brother Alex died suddenly of natural causes. 2 weeks later, Lori and Chad got married in Hawaii. Then 4 months later, in February of 2021,
Cox County Sheriff's Office has received the autopsy report on Tammy Daybell's body from the Utah Medical Examiner, but they are not releasing it to the public just yet.
That report has still not been released, but Lori and Chad are charged in connection with conspiring to kill Tammy. On November 26th, 1 month after Tammy's death, Kay and Larry Woodcock, JJ's grandparents, ordered a welfare check for JJ. Police say Lori told them JJ was with her friend Melanie Gibb in Arizona. Melanie told East Idaho News Chad called her that day and said when police call, don't pick up the phone.
He says, yeah, the police are over at Lori's house checking on JJ. And I'm like, JJ's not with Kay? No. My heart dropped deeper.
Rexburg police returned to Lori's home next day, this time with a search warrant.
Don't pick
But
up the
Lori
phone.
Was gone. That's when Chad and Lori, newly married, are found in Hawaii. Police in Hawaii served a court order saying Lori had 5 days to physically produce the kids. The newlyweds ignored that deadline.
She's got an end game in her head, and although this is not a game, but obviously she thinks it is, for you to shun an order from a court telling you what you need to do.
Police arrested Lori in Hawaii on February 20th, 2020. She was charged with child desertion, obstructing an officer, contempt of court, and solicitation to commit a crime.
You know that you have been charged in the state of Idaho with a number of charges.
At this point, both her kids are still missing. Lori was extradited from Hawaii to Idaho on March 5th. KTVB was the only media outlet to get video of Lori landing at the Boise airport. From there, she was flown to Rexburg.
Welcome back, Lori. Where are your kids? Tell us where your kids are.
KTVB was there as she made her first court appearance in Idaho on March 6th.
All right.
Her son, Colby Ryan, was also there, along with Kay and Larry Woodcock.
Where are Tylee and JJ?
Where are the kids? Where are the kids?
Fast forward to June of 2020, 9 months after JJ and Tylee disappeared. Investigators searched Chad Daybell's Idaho property and found human remains. That's when police arrested him.
The investigators and detectives have recovered what's believed to be human remains that are not identified at this time.
Rexburg police later confirmed the remains belonged to JJ and Tylee.
I just want you to know I came here for one thing. That's to see where.
Then in May of 2021,
a Fremont County grand jury indicted the couple on 2 charges of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. And another first in this case, with Daybell charged with first-degree murder of his late wife, Tammy Daybell.
Members of the grand jury deliberated and determined there is probable cause to believe the Daybells willfully and knowingly conspired to commit several crimes that led to the death of 3 innocent people.
A few weeks later, on June 8th, Lori was deemed not fit to stand trial. The case was paused for nearly a year. But on June 24th, another grand jury in Arizona indicted Lori on conspiracy to commit murder charges in the death of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. A trial for those charges won't happen until the conclusion of the trial in Ada County.
Thank you. Please be seated.
In April of 2022, Lori is found competent for trial. She was then formally arraigned on murder charges and pled not guilty. 1 month later, prosecutors said they would pursue the death penalty against Lori. But then, in October of 2022, Judge Stephen Boyce issued a ruling to suspend the trial until Lori's competency could be determined. 1 month later, that he was competent to stand trial once again. Then in March of 2023, Judge Boyce ruled Lori and Chad's cases would be severed, meaning they will now be tried separately. Which brings us to today, and Lori's trial in Ada County.
Trial proceedings do start tomorrow morning at the Ada County Courthouse. And to be clear, court officials say it will start with jury selection. That is expected to last about a week, so it is going to take a while. The entire trial may last several months. And KTVB will be there every step of the way. For all the information you need to know about the upcoming trial, you can text the word Vallow to the number on your screen, 208-321-5614. We'll send you the latest on what's happening in the case.
I want to bring in Alex Capriello, News Nation national correspondent. He was in the courtroom having to take in all these lies all day. And with Alex to the right is Lauren Matthias, co-host of the podcast, also having to deflect and try not to, absorb these lies so much that they haunt her every night. Okay, to the two of you, Alex, I'm going to start with you. Whenever I hear the proven and then just beautifully lit for a jury, I tend to think that they get a tight look in their face because nobody likes liars, and jurors particularly hate liars. Can you just give me a bit of a feel for how the jury absorbed the string of lies that were presented for them today?
Yeah, I would say that this is one of the most attentive juries I've ever seen. They are really, really paying attention to everything that they're being shown and everything that they're hearing. And I think in particular to the body camera footage, which we see Lori actually speaking one-on-one with these police detectives, and it's all caught on tape. They're really looking both at the video screen and at Lori. And I had a pretty good line of sight at Lori myself, and she looked rather uncomfortable. She was paying attention to her own monitor, which was displaying the video. But she was really, really looking at it good and hard, because I think it was an uncomfortable moment, because shortly after that video was shown, of course, we have the sergeant detective right there on the stand who was able to go one by one out of all the little discrepancies that he had picked out, that he knew that she was lying about, that he, sort of had that spidey sense, that alertness to him. He knew during that moment that she wasn't being necessarily all that truthful. And I think the jury was paying attention to it closely.
Hey, Lauren, a lot of times when that stuff happens, people like in court, some of the reporters, some of the public, they come to see this stuff, family members, they kind of look at each other, they steal glances. Like a lot of people feel the discomfort themselves, and everybody kind of looks around to check, are you hearing the same thing I'm hearing? Was it like that?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like everyone in there has almost become, we're a close-knit group now because we're in there every week and we're all looking around at each other, wondering, can you believe that? I'll even check with someone. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what Lori's doing? Do you agree with that? And we're all actually exchanging notes and glances because we're all looking at different things at different times. And there was so much shock. There was so many open mouth sort of gasps throughout this whole day, which, as you say, it was lie after lie after lie.
Yeah, I'm living this through you because I lived Casey Anthony the entire trial in court, where I would look to my neighbors saying, did that just actually happen? And we all had that same sense that you're describing. Thank you for watching. Go to News.
This is my body cam footage as myself and Lieutenant Ball.
Okay, I thought I was not muted. This is the audio from the body cam that they were just talking about in that previous video. So this is going to be the actual complete audio from that, and then you're going to hear where the LE was coming up with the discrepancies on her responses to their questions when it came to her missing son. So I consider this an interview or an interrogation, one or the other.
This is my body cam footage as myself and Lieutenant Ball approach the apartment number 175 the first time on the 26th.
Her car's out there too. In the back, it's blue. Blue Subaru.
Hi, you Lori. Lori, I'm Lieutenant Ball, Police Department. How are you? You got a minute? You alone, or that help? Or?
My brother's here.
Okay. This is Detective Stubbs.
Hello.
So, we're here.
Yeah, this is a big mess. I just talked to the guy on the phone.
And what did he ask you?
He was just saying that he wanted to do a well check on JJ.
So, JJ would be where?
He's in Arizona.
I do have that. We'll go into a
Arizona?
future
He's with
episode
one of
with
my
that one.
friends in Arizona.
Oh. Oh, you got a notepad?
No? Want me to get one?
No. Come here. You mind if he comes in?
No, no.
So,
Sorry.
who's the friend he's with?
My friend Melanie. Her
Melanie.
son has autism. Her name's Melanie Gibb. I gave him all the information on the phone.
Okay, so he can call him?
Yeah.
Discord.
Yeah. What is all this?
We're a little
What is
concerned
it? Why?
because, well, the officers who were here earlier
Why?
Yeah.
were checking, and they got a bad vibe that like something was going on here because nobody knew anything about a child. They want to talk to him.
It's because a
What's
lot of
going
stuff has gone on. If you want to know, it's a lot of stuff. So
Well, that's why we're concerned, because it just was kind of weird.
it is very weird. I've had to move around a lot. One of my brothers is trying to kill me. Not the brother that lives here, obviously. He's kind of my protector. My other brother that was in with my husband, who was trying to kill me for my $2 million life insurance.
What?
So a lot of stuff has gone on in this last year. It's been a horrible year for us. I've had to move around. And so I was going to move back to Arizona. put my son back into the school there because I tried to put him in school here, public school at Kennedy.
Okay.
He went for 2 months. We tried it, but he had such a hard time. Now, the person who called is my sister-in-law, but she's his natural grandmother. He's adopted by us. Okay, so her son, who's a drug addict, had a baby with a girl who's a drug addict, and they took him from, CPS took him, gave him to the grandmother. She came and got him, and then she wants to adopt him, which we did. We loved
By
him and
us,
taken
who we
care.
call
My
him?
husband and I, who died earlier this year.
Okay.
He passed away. Since he
Sorry to
passed
hear that.
away, she's been trying to fight me for him and being really horrible to me. And she's kind of the paternal friend.
Okay, thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
That's
I'm
what I
sorry.
needed. The paternal grandmother.
He has autism and ADHD. He doesn't really talk to people. Like he's very special needs. So I had him in a special needs school there. She was trying to. So what happened was, my husband, who we were married for 15 years and had raised all these 5 kids together, switched his life insurance policy to her, right?
To
his sister, who got $1 million when he died, and we got nothing. For me to raise JJ, and all the kids got nothing, and everybody got nothing. She got $1 million. So I knew she was going to try to sue me for him, or
JJ?
Yeah, because she now has this $1 million, so she can hire people to help him, and I have nothing.
But you have legal custody.
He's my son. I adopted him when he
Right.
was 2 years. We had him from the time he was 8 months old till 2 years old. So she does nothing that wants to cause me trouble. So I don't tell people the truth about where we are and what we're doing because of those reasons. So I look like a suspect, but I am not a good person. Raised all of my kids. I've done everything
look
that
like
I'm
a
supposed to do in life.
suspect?
But everyone is causing me trouble right now. So
We don't want to cause a lot of trouble. How long have you been here?
we've only been here since September.
Good.
We moved up here in September. My daughter to go to BYUI.
Your daughter goes to BYU?
Yeah.
Does she live here?
So it's been a nightmare. But I'm going to go back to Arizona so I can put him back in the special needs school. He couldn't do the school here. It was too hard for him. He would scream and cry, I'd take him to school. The principal would have to come out, try to drag him out of the car. Like, it's too hard. But I just don't tell people where I am. I don't tell her where I am ever. And she doesn't have any legal rights to anything. Like, she's been horrible to me since my husband died.
My understanding, she never called to try to get the child, hey, I'm interested in the child back, but
I know, but she sends me these emails with like the dates and like she's putting up court stuff, like she's documenting. I haven't heard from him in all this time, and so I've told her that he's lying. But
See, and we hadn't heard any of that as far as,
I'm just saying she's doing this as part of that.
Yeah.
Is my understanding.
and our only concern in this whole thing
Is that he's fine.
is the child.
I got it.
And so that's where we're at on the, and then
So
we
I
were just a
called
little
her.
weirded out when, and I understand now that we've heard your side of the story.
It's awful. They
Is
just I feel like I'm being tracked all the time. I'm like, why are police coming to my door? What did I do?
They said they were out visiting with 2 guys, and I'm assuming one's your brother.
Who was this? Yeah.
Who was the other one? The other guy they were visiting with. There were 2.
Visiting.
Well, we had 2 detectives over here trying to,
Looking for you
Oh.
a little while ago.
Oh, because I was at the store.
and they ran into probably one of your brothers in
My
the back
brother
here.
and his friend, probably.
Oh,
They've
who's
been
that?
moving. Chad.
Chad from around here?
Mhm.
What's his last name? Yeah, okay. All right.
So it's just a mess. It's
Chad.
constantly causing me trouble.
What?
Chad the Daybell?
He's an author.
Doesn't he live like out in the, isn't that the Chad Daybell that, didn't his wife pass away recently? Is that him?
Whoa. She said my brother and his friend. Whoa. They just were like, hold on. That's good LE work right there. Let me rewind that a
He
little
couldn't
bit.
do the school here. It was too hard for him. He would scream and cry, take him to school. The principal would have to come out, try to drag him out. Rights to anything. Like, she's been horrible to me since my husband died.
My understanding, she never called to try to get the child, hey, I'm interested in the child back, but
I know, but she sends me these emails with like the dates and like she's putting up court stuff, like she's documenting.
At first, I thought she meant her brother Chad, and then she said, "Dave." I heard David and Buzz. I'm like, what? And then they just wait a minute. Isn't that the guy whose wife just passed?
I haven't heard from him in all this time, and so I've told her that he's fine. But
See, and we hadn't heard any of that as far as,
I'm just saying she's doing this as part of that.
Yeah.
Is my understanding.
and our only concern in this whole thing
Yeah, is that he's fine.
is the child.
I got it.
And so
I got
that's where we're at on the, and then
So
we were just a
so
little weirded
frustrating,
out
isn't it,
when,
Lori?
and I understand now that we've heard your side of the story.
It's awful. They
Is
just I feel like I'm being tracked all the time. Like, why are police coming to my door? What did I do?
They said they were out visiting with two guys, and I assume
Who is
one's your brother.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? The other guy they were visiting with. There were two.
Visiting.
Well, we had two detectives over here trying to,
Looking for you a little while ago.
Oh, because I was at the store.
and they ran into probably one of your brothers in
My
the back
brother
here.
and his friend, probably.
And his
Who's in
friend,
moving. Chad.
probably.
Chad from around here.
Mhm.
What's his last name? Yeah. Okay.
She said,
All right.
It's just a mess. That just constantly
That's when he just
causing me
noticed.
trouble.
Chad the Daybell.
DeBello. Yeah, he's from around here. Probably his friend. Chad Daybello. 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 And he didn't even catch on to it, but that's fine because it's a good thing he didn't catch on to it, because he did catch on to that's the same guy that is involved. I can't. This is crazy. His friend probably. He's been moving.
You a little while ago.
Oh, because I was at the store.
And they ran into probably one of your brothers in
My
the back
brother
here.
and his friend, probably.
Oh,
Who's
who's
been
that?
moving.
Who's
Chad.
been moving?
Chad from around here?
Mhm.
What's his last name? Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's just a mess.
Yep, now he
It's
notices.
constantly causing me trouble.
Chad
And,
the Daybell.
he's an author.
He's an author. She just gave it up right
Doesn't
there.
he live like out in the? Isn't that the Chad Daybell that?
If she wouldn't have said he was an author, that just gave it away right there. She could have been like, no, that's not him. Oh, okay.
Doesn't he live like out in the? Isn't that the Chad Daybell that? Didn't his wife pass away recently?
Wow.
Is that him?
I don't know,
I bet it is. Chad Daybell.
but it sounds familiar as an author.
I know. I think I
As
know
an
him.
author,
He's got a couple of daughters.
He has lots of kids.
lots of kids.
I'll bet it's safe. All right. Well, anything else? Sorry to bother you.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't mean to be a problem.
I'm sorry
We just-
that people are constantly knocking on my door. Oh my door, looking for me, and I just don't want to be found. So
Have you had problems? 'Cause I think we only had.
the reason I'm moving is because the brother that was going to kill me, that we found emails and texts with my husband at the time, came showing up here. So he found out where I was, and he was knocking on my door.
No, this was your brother?
One of my brothers.
He showed up here and was knocking on your door.
He lives in Kansas.
And you said something about you were getting threatening emails?
Well, no, just after my husband passed, I found emails and texts between them that they were planning all this stuff to get rid of me.
Do we need to worry about him coming over?
Well, that's why I'm moving back. I'm moving, and I'm not going to be in a place. I'm going to live with my friend Melanie. Don't tell.
Oh, you can call. Take care of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I just just a nightmare. I mean, I canceled the insurance policy since my husband passed, so there's no money if they can. And what are they going to do with JJ and Tylee? Like, what do people think?
Okay.
So,
Well, if you have a problem, throw it back up. Feel free to call us. We'll come and run him off or something. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Okay, we'll get out of here. Safe
Okay,
on you.
thank you. See ya.
Yeah, that's pretty damn obvious. They know something's up. That's a pretty good video. Here, I'll put the link to it in chat if you'd like to have it. That's some crazy shit. And she just gave it away. She could have got away with it with the Daybell. Oh no, that's not him. Even the LE responded. Yeah, it sounds, and as an author, it sounds familiar. Getting nervous. Telling on yourself. And he's hanging around down there with the brother. I don't know. His friend. Is he from here? Yeah. Does he have 2 daughters? Oh, he has lots of kids. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Okay, so even more lies, everybody. Even more. We're going to watch the interview with Lori when they brought her in. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Very interesting. All right, so this is Lori Vallow Daybell's full interview with Arizona LE the day her husband was passed. Give me 1 second here.
You want me to? Yeah. And then I'll so just make it easier so you don't have to.
Sweet.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank
But
you.
I'll be up to yes. So if you want to.
Yeah, Molly's using the other one,
Okay.
so you'll be, Brendan's gonna monitor for him.
Okay, so just run out this way.
Okay.
If there's anything, but if, you know.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's everybody else's fault. What's up, Kip Kitty?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing. How's it going?
Going good. That was pretty interesting. That audio from that body cam that they saw in court today.
She's something else, I tell you.
The BS is just all over the place. I was really shocked. I was really shocked last night when we watched Colby's interview, and he said that she told him that he had a heart attack, knowing damn well he was going to be coming over there soon, and then finding out the truth. So it's like she just throwing lies all over.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Seeing what shit sticks and what don't.
Right. I think her and Letitia are related.
So
This
you're
shit's
talking
so
about
deep.
you were talking about Melanie in chat. Why do you I haven't we'll be
I
getting
never-
into Melanie's stuff tomorrow night probably.
Yeah. You know, I think Melanie is in this somehow. Her and her husband.
And her husband, huh?
Well, I didn't think her husband at first, when I first heard about him. They were engaged at that time. But it sounds like he's, I guess since he's married to Melanie, I don't know. But I think she's just covering her ass, honestly. Can I say that?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but for what? Then why wouldn't she have lied? I haven't even watched her testimony, so I don't even know.
She did lie at first, saying that JJ was with her when the police called. But then she changed her mind and told him the truth that he wasn't with her. But I don't know. I just she knows more than she's letting on.
I watched an interview when I was doing my prep today where she was like or no, it was I watched it in my prep, but it was in the beginning of the show where Chad had called and told her not to call or not to pick up the phone if LE called, and she said, "Oh, he's not with Kate," and she goes, "When I heard him say no, my heart dropped."
Yeah.
So what is that about? That was Melanie.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. My gut intuition just tells me something's up with her. I don't know what.
What do you think she's hiding?
I don't know. I think she was covering for Lori and Chad for a while until the kids went missing.
Like she believed in the shit that they were preaching?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once she found out they did what they did, she kind of backed away from it because she didn't want to be tied to it because
she didn't want to be involved or something. Yeah. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of her testimony yet. But yeah, there's a bunch of that. I think her testimony, I got 2 things with Melanie Gibb, and that totals, hell, that's its own show alone. That's like 3 hours.
I watched her testify at the preliminary hearing.
I got...
It was when they allowed cameras.
Yeah, I got the one where she testified at Chad Daybell's preliminary hearing.
Well, maybe it was Chad's. It was one of theirs.
Wearing like a black
But she
jacket.
did testify. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I did come across that. Something off with her, Pam says she agrees with you.
Well, it sounds like, not to change the subject, but I just wanted to let you know, it sounds like Letitia's trial will possibly end next Monday.
That's cool.
The state only has 5 witnesses left, and then the defense only has 1. But anyway, back to Lori.
What's up, Ava? It's Kib Kitty. I wish StreamYard would change that where it shows the name all the time, even if there's banners up. All right. Doing good. Hoping you're doing well. Just watching some interviews.
You know what? I have a suggestion. You go back to school. I try to talk to the teachers, but in high school, I don't care. They're like, you're not here. Do the work or don't. Like they don't care. They're
Well, and I
so
think
loyal.
with high school, it's like they're just pumping.
But when she was in elementary and junior high, all the teachers worked with her. They were nice about it. But by high school, there's so many kids that just don't care. And I was like, just take it. You're so smart. Let's just take it and see if you pass it. She passed it. Like,
And got a really good score.
yeah, she passed it with like college ready in every category the first time.
Well, and now she can do what she wants. So
Exactly.
she's better off that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know Laura's your first name, right?
Yeah.
L-A-U-R.
L-O-R-I.
Okay. And then what's your last name?
Vallow. V-A-L-L-O-W.
And your date of birth? And your phone number? And you live at the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I know this sounds silly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably the easiest way to start is just to tell me what happened. And then, so you can start what makes the most sense to you, and we'll just work our way through, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions.
And I'm just going to remind everybody, this is right after... Ooh. I just want to remind everybody, this is right after Charles passed. So this is after that took place. Alex was on body cam. We watched that where Ellie rolled up to the house after Alex called 911. And so all this has taken place after that.
Just to kind of clarify.
Sure.
So I know you talked to the initial patrol officer.
And he just got information. He didn't say
Okay.
anything.
So yeah, if you can just kind of tell me kind of what happened. It sounds like some of this may have started last night or something along those lines. So
Right.
start where you think it makes the most sense.
Okay. So, I
told you, it's a crazy question.
Well, so we moved into this house 3 weeks ago because he offered to get me a house here where all my family is. We were in Houston. And so he's like, we had decided to separate or whatever. So he's like, well, I'll pay for a house for you and for JJ and whatever, because he's all about JJ. He's never about Tylee, but he's all about JJ. Because we adopted him together. He's his great nephew. We adopted him as a baby. And so we adopted him as a baby, and so we've been raising him together. And he travels all the time for business, so he's used to just going back and forth. So he's always gone like Monday through Friday. So he came when we first moved in and brought me stuff from Houston, like a U-Haul. And then he hasn't been back. But it's all these threats on my phone all the time, you know, like whatever, all these things. And then he told me...
What kind of threats?
Just... You'd have to read them to see, but he's always mad at me, right? And he doesn't want a divorce, but I don't like him and don't want to deal with him, so that's just how it is. So we married for 14 years, we dealt with it for 14 years, of him being horrible to her. Like, he gets in huge fights with her, a lot of things. But anyway, so he said, I'm coming Wednesday night, all of a sudden. I want to see JJ. And I told him, I said, I will never keep JJ from you. You can come see whenever you want to. Come take him to school, whatever. Like, I'm not going to do that.
So when you initially moved, he had said he was going to buy you a house. So you moved here with your...
Yeah, he was going to rent us a house.
And so you moved...
All my family lives here. So we lived here for a long time.
Okay.
And then he moved us to Houston.
Okay.
And we were there with my son. He was out of school. He didn't have any of his, like, services, his DDD, his anything. He, like, ripped him out of school and said, we're moving.
Okay.
And I didn't go with him at first. And he took him. And I let him take him, and I didn't say anything or whatever. And then he filed something against me and said, I'm only going to get supervised visits because I'm crazy and blah, 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 you know, the story. And so I just didn't talk to him for like 30 days and let him take care of him and let him see what I've been doing for the past 7 years, because men need to do that. You don't have 5 kids. I have grown kids. I have grandkids. Like, okay, you're going to threaten me that you're not going to let me see my child without supervised visitation? Okay, do it for 30 days and see how long it lasts. You're begging me to come pick him up.
Yeah.
Which he did. Just like, come back and whatever. So I moved in with them to Houston for the family, you know, and Tylee went with me. We drove to Houston from here and and left all our family and all his support, all my son's support, like his cousins, everything. And we were there, and I enrolled him in school there. I tried to start all his services, and it takes forever.
Yeah.
You know, it takes so long to get that done.
There's no easy transferring.
There's
anything.
no easy transfer.
You start from the
State to
beginning.
state, it's a totally new thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't do any of it in those 30 days. So he just
Sorry
went
about
without
this
services,
audio.
without even applying. And I'm like, do you even realize? Because he didn't ever do it in the first place. I did it. Long story. I'll keep it short. He hasn't been here in a couple weeks since we moved in. He came. He was very nasty when he was there, but he travels for business. So he went back to the Houston house, and he's like, I'm coming on Wednesday night, and I'm going to come pick up JJ and take him to school Thursday, pick him up Thursday, take him Friday, whatever. And I said, Casey wanted to come to the house, and I said, you can't come stay at this house because you can't get along with Tylee. She's a minor, and she has to live here.
Yeah.
So Casey gets in huge fights up there.
Okay.
And she hates him. And so I'm like, you can't stay at the house, so I will book you a hotel, because he stays in hotels all the time because he travels for business, and the business pays for it, right? So I said, I will book you a hotel nearby.
What does he do?
He works with teachers in their retirement plans, but he goes to them at their school.
Oh,
He
okay.
mostly works in California.
Okay.
No matter where we live. And we
Okay.
lived in Hawaii. He'd work in California. He'd work in Texas. He has like books of business in different areas. And so he just goes wherever. It kind of just gives him freedom that he doesn't have to stay home every day and take care of special needs.
Yeah.
It's like an excuse, right? So I've done that myself for the last 7 years anyway. And I was a single mom before I married him with my 2 kids.
Yeah.
And he had 2 kids. We got married, tried to make a family.
Yeah.
Anyway. So he said he was coming last night. I said, well, you can't stay at this house because you can't get along with Tylee. I'll get you a hotel and you can come stay with JJ. But he goes to school all day.
Yeah.
I got him back into his school. His services, I met with the DDD yesterday, and they finally are getting his services back. But we're paying $125 a day to have him back at school because he's so out of his routine. He's been a nightmare on the floor, kicking stuff, hitting stuff, walls. Like, he just ripped him out of his life.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just how he is, because he only thinks about himself. So he says, coming to get JJ, and JJ's like, I don't want Dad, because he knows Dad took him away. So he was freaking out, right? So I didn't tell him he was even coming. Like, Dad's going to come take you to school, I think. So he didn't bother me last night, which I was surprised. I was expecting kind of an ambush for him to kind of like come over or be just mean and say, it's my house, I'm on the lease, I'm going to stay here, kind of thing. Because that's kind of his macho attitude. And so he came this morning. I skated JJ ready.
So he got in last night, but he wasn't at the house last night.
Yeah, I didn't hear from him, except for he texted me and said, I'll be there at 7:30 to pick up JJ.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that was good. Just didn't hear from him. And then he came over in the morning and he's like banging on the door. I'm like, oh great, here we go, you know. And I was just gonna be nice. I'm just gonna be nice as possible. And I had JJ stuff all ready for school. And so,
do you remember about what time he got there?
He said he'd be there 7:30, but it was more like 7:40ish or 7:35. I don't know.
Okay.
But I remember thinking, looking at the clock, and he wasn't there at 7:30, and he's usually Mr. On
Punctual.
time. Yes. So I was like, okay. And then JJ was like, oh, Dad. And then he was like, Mommy, and like ran to me and was like holding me. He's like, you're not taking me to school. And I was like, it's okay, Dad, I can just drive you to school. It's no big deal. You know, just trying to make it whatever.
Calm.
Yeah, calm. And then he was just being real smirky and real like jerky, you know, to me. And I was like ignoring him, whatever. And so he was like,
Your brother lives there with you?
No.
Okay.
He had stayed with me last night because I was worried he was going to come over and cause trouble with me.
Okay.
And just wanted someone else there, like my brother there, because I trust my brother. And it's been a long story. Like, I had to go live at my brother's when he took JJ. And, you know, he's just been difficult. So, anyway. So I got JJ stuff ready. And he was like, well, and he's like this about timing. He's like, I'm leaving in 20 minutes because it's like 15 minutes to the school and like you can't get there early. They don't open the gates until 8:20 or something like that. And I said, well, why don't you just go now? I don't want him in the house. I'm like, why don't you just go now and take him to Burger King because that's what he likes for breakfast. And he's very particular about food. Like, he wanted chicken fries for breakfast and a Sprite. Like, and I just get what he wants because if you don't get what he wants, then it's like on the floor screaming, dragging him into school. Like, and he's big and he's heavy and hard for me to handle. But anyway, so I said, just go. And so he said, okay. So I gave
Just
him a backpack.
rambling.
He got in the car. This is his MO, right? he always leaves something in the house and comes back. He never leaves the first time. I always expect my husband to come back into the house, right? So I guess he had left his phone on the counter.
So he initially left with the backpack and with JJ? And
So
then,
he put them in the car,
okay.
in the driveway, and then he came back in, right? So I kissed JJ goodbye. He came back in, and his phone was on the counter, and I had his phone. And he was like, giving me my phone, and I was like, why don't you show me your text that you've been texting, blah, 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 you know, whatever. Because he's like acting really weird, like he's plotting something against me. Like, I'm like, why are you even here? Like, what did you come here for? You know, he's been talking to my other brother, and my brother came into town at the same time last night. And I haven't talked to my brother in a while, my other brother, and I was like, and so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house, and I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk to him? Like, my other brother. And, you know, he's been telling me all these texts, like, you're going down, blah, 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 blah. He's blaming me for our marriage breaking up and my niece getting divorced and my friend getting divorced. He said, I'm a destroyer of families because I want everybody to get divorced. I'm like, what would my motivation be for people getting divorced? So I could babysit the kids more? Like, why would I have any control over what people do?
Yeah.
So it's just very
Wow.
odd. But anyway,
Her behavior is very
he
odd.
goes nuts. He's gone nuts on us a lot of times. Tylee and I have had to leave with JJ over the years, probably 5 times, and just stay in a hotel for 2 days because he goes nuts. Like, you don't know what's going to set him off. Like, whatever. And she's mad at me for always, like, going back. But we had JJ, and he's special needs, and it's really hard. Like, it's even hard to take care of revenge.
So when you say he goes nuts, that can mean a lot of different things.
Right.
So goes nuts like yelling and screaming.
Yeah,
goes
yelling and
nuts
screaming,
like breaking
like,
things.
yes.
Goes nuts like physical violence.
He's never really, besides, like, grabbing us and pushing us, but not, like, punching us or something. But with Tylee, he has gotten physical.
Okay.
Before. And with my grown son.
Like physical how?
Like, got into a physical fist fight with my son when he was 16.
Okay.
And he came after Tylee 2 times in Hawaii.
Okay.
And, like, went like he was going to hit her, but then I got in between them.
Uh-huh.
Right.
How old was she when that happened?
Probably 13 and 14.
Okay.
I wonder if that's going to be brought up in her interview.
So this morning he comes back in and...
He comes back in, I wouldn't give him his phone. He was screaming at me to give him his phone. He was very worried about whatever was on his text that he did not want me to see. And so I was just holding it there, and he was screaming at me. And I was kind of walking around the house with it, so he couldn't get it. He's like reaching for it and stuff like that. And so Tylee came out of her room upset, and she had a bat, and she told him to leave her mother alone, like, right? So she was really whatever. And he's screaming at her, don't you hit me with that bat, and blah, 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 blah. And then my brother heard all the commotion because he was in there in bed. And so he came out into the main room, and I guess whatever.
What's your brother's name?
Alex.
Alex, okay.
And then he just started, he was screaming, and he was super upset and whatever, and he was yelling at Tylee, don't you hit me with that bat, and blah, blah, blah. And so Tylee, I guess, I don't know if she swung at him or what, but he, like, got from Tylee and then went to, like, hit Tylee with the bat. It was, and I was right there, and they were right there, and my brother grabbed him from behind, like, just to stop him from hitting Tylee.
You go like this, like, he grabbed him, like...
Yeah, from behind, like, just kind of to pull him back. And then they got into the thing, and he's hitting him with the bat, and they're on the ground, like, grappling around or whatever. And then, I mean, it was all...
And he quickly, and he hit your brother with the bat while they were grappling and stuff?
Yeah, yes, he was hitting him with the bat, like swinging the bat, you know, back and forth, and they were kind of like on the ground, and I was like freaking out trying to go around, knowing JJ was in the car, right? And so then he got up and he had the bat like this towards me, and I was going around the other side to try to just get out of his range where he couldn't hit me. And then I had told Tylee, because she was on the ground, because after he took the bat from her, she fell back. And so I told her, I was like, go get in the car with JJ. Like, I don't want JJ coming in to the house, and I wanted her out of the way. I wanted the kids out of the way, whatever this fight was going to be. And then
Do you remember what your husband or your brother were saying or yelling during all of this? If they were at all?
Just kind of get off me, ow, or whatever. You know, whatever. They were like don't talk to my niece that way.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like it was. I don't remember specifics, but they were kind of both. They were kind of in the heat of it. I don't think there was many words that I remember.
So Tylee goes outside.
Yeah, she was outside, and
what happened?
Then he got from the, and my brother had like stepped back, I guess, and then Charles was coming with me at the back, yelling at me to give him his phone still because I had it in my hand. It was all really quickly, and then when I went around kind of in the circle, then my brother was there.
When you said when you were going around and he was coming at you with the bat, how was he holding the bat?
Just like that, like backwards. One arm.
Like he was swinging it backwards? He would have done like
he would have swung it backwards at me, not frontwards.
Okay, yeah.
He was a professional baseball player.
Okay.
So it wasn't a good idea for Tylee to get out of that.
Probably not the.
I mean, he played semi-pro.
Yeah.
He was, But
All the giggles.
yeah, and then I was kind of turned around, and we were all right there in that room, except for the kids had been outside by that time, and I heard the gunshot. And
so you heard the shot? Did you actually see the shot, or did you just hear it?
I had gone around to the kitchen to get away from him, and so back around. So I don't know if he went in the house.
I didn't, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, so I didn't see the shot. I heard it, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground.
Okay.
And was freaking out.
Yeah.
And so I was just freaking out, and it just went into mom mode. I'm like, I've got to go to get JJ to school. I've got to get to the kids. I just felt like I got to get to the kids. And so I just went outside and to see if they were in there. Okay, I didn't want them coming back in the house when all that was going on. And got JJ in the car, and he was trying to come in. And Tylee was like looking at me with like the crazy eyes, like what just happened. And I told her to get in the car and we're going to take JJ to school. And I just left.
When you came back in and you saw him on the ground, where was your brother? Did you see him where he was at?
Yeah, he was right in front of him.
Okay.
Like it all happened very quickly. I feel like I was there because I was right there, and like a second later, I just went around the kitchen to get away from him.
Did your brother say anything to you at all? Do you remember?
No, we were both just in shock.
Okay.
Like it was just I didn't say anything. I went out with the kids just to check on them first, and I was gonna come back in maybe, but I didn't. I was like, I just have to get him to school and call the police and come back, whatever.
Did anybody say did you or your brother say anything at some
Get him
point
to
about
school and then call
calling the
police.
police or calling 911? Do you remember?
Yeah, he called me.
Okay.
And he said, "Are you taking JJ to school?" And I said, "Yeah, we need to call the police." And he said, "Okay."
Okay. So he called you when you didn't come back inside, basically?
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like in the car for a minute, and then I was like, "What do I do?" And I didn't want JJ to go inside, and I didn't know what to do. And Tylee was freaking out. I was trying to get them away from the scene.
Understandable. And you may not know this, so, because I know you heard the shot, do you know at what point your brother had the gun? Do you know if he had it when they got in their first fight, or did he have to go get it, or
I don't know.
Do you know that at all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And do you remember if you ever heard your brother?
I didn't see him ever leave the room.
Okay.
So it was so fast. All that was so fast. Like him on the ground, rolling around, and I'm screaming. And
this probably happened in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it was like super fast.
And I don't know if you know this or not. Does your brother normally carry a gun? Like I carry a gun everywhere I go.
Right. Like I know he's a gun person. Like he has guns and things.
Okay.
He showed up guns.
Did you know that he had one with him?
No.
When he came over?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Because
Okay.
he's very, very professional with guns.
Professional. Responsible is usually a good
Right,
word.
responsible with guns.
And then, do you remember if at any
Proficient.
time, so you were trying to get away from him,
Right.
and you heard the shot. Prior to the shot, do you remember at any point hearing your
Professional.
husband or your brother saying anything to either of them?
No.
So my second very ridiculous question is there anything else that I didn't ask about or anything that we didn't cover that you think is important? I always ask that just because I wasn't there, and so we're going through something that happened in a super small amount of time.
Yes. Can I
So,
step back?
yeah, go for it.
Just thinking. Just that. He was just so angry, like super scary.
Did you
know how
think-
you take your phone away from like a 16-year-old and they freak out? Like their world disintegrates. Like I've taken my phone away from a 16-year-old boy before, and he's like wanted to kill himself because like they kidnapped him. That's how it was. It was like something on his phone that he does not want me to see. That he was like freaking out, like to the point where I thought he would hit me in the back of the head to get the phone.
Okay. So you thought, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you thought it was possible that he was going to hurt you.
Absolutely, he was going to hurt me and Tylee.
Okay.
Not JJ. He never hurt JJ.
Okay.
And he hurt my brother. Like he was going like ballistic about. It was bad.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to her real quick.
Okay.
And then if obviously, we'll be here for a little bit, hopefully not too much longer. But if you think of anything or there's anything that kind of pops in your head or something else that we didn't cover, obviously. So I'm gonna go talk to her for just a little bit, and then I'll kind of come back and check with you. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I know my partner's talking to your brother over in one of the other interview rooms. So we're going to just try to get, as much done as we can and go from there. Okay. And then, is there anybody that you need to call or anything, or you want to wait a little bit?
I don't know what I would say.
And wait a little bit. We'll see.
What's up, Punksy?
I don't know what I would say.
And if you want to, you can think about it. So we do have victim services that work within the police department. They're right over here. They're not cops. They're civilians. And they do, Jessica, who's out there with the fire department, so they're kind of our crisis response. They come right away. So our victim services that work in the department are kind of more long-term type support systems. So they're just a really good resource because they do a lot of stuff with our families and things like that, and can help with support services and questions you might have.
She's been through so much.
So it might be a good
I
idea.
just can't stand for her to have to go through all this.
Yeah, it might be a good idea maybe before I take you guys back today that I get one of them to come in and maybe sit and talk with you guys and see. And it's not something there's a bunch of stuff they can offer, but it's good to have a contact and like a name and a face and a phone number. That way maybe a couple days from now, a week from now, or if there's something going on or you think you need help with something, it may not be something that's necessarily up like me and my partner's alley, but it very much may be up theirs. So I'd like for you to meet one of them before we leave. That way, hopefully if there's something that they can help you and your daughter with, they can, or even JJ or whatever else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I haven't thought about
Yeah. So
I mean, he's used to him not being there, but he wouldn't understand even if you told him.
Right.
Like, that somebody passed away, he doesn't understand
What that means. Well, I mean, it's hard at 7 to understand that
Anyway,
anyways.
that's true, but with him, he just doesn't, which
Yeah.
is probably better because he doesn't comprehend things, but I don't know. Just, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah. So let me go find one of them, and then we'll make sure that you guys get to meet with them before you leave, because that might be something very helpful for you guys. And I'm going to go speak with your daughter for just a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay? And if you need anything, let me know, okay? Okay.
So she basically just sits there and ends up falling asleep, I think. And there's nothing really else to the rest of that. So I'll leave the link to this video in the description if you'd like the whole video. Sorry about the audio. I even checked Law and Crime Network's version and it was still the crappy audio. But that was interesting when Ellie was asking her if she knew if Alex had a weapon or not. And she said she didn't know, but that he was very professional. And then Ellie said, I think a good word would be responsible. I just want to play that for a second. Then we'll go to Tylee's interview. She's actually leaving here to go talk to Tylee. And then we'll be covering Alex's widow, Alex's ex-wife interviews, and more tomorrow night. Stephen Smith Thursday night. Probably another Lori Vallow sometime Saturday or Sunday. Definitely got to do Madeline.
Just that.
I didn't, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, so Tylee was like looking at me, he was like, to get away from him.
Did your brother say anything to you?
Anything, I went out with the kids, yeah, he called me.
Okay.
And he said, are you taking Gigi to school? And I said, yeah, we need to call the police. And he said, okay.
Okay. So he called you when you didn't come back inside, basically?
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like in the car for a minute, and then I was like, what do I do? And I didn't want JJ to go inside, and I didn't know what to do. And Tylee was freaking out. I was trying to get them away from the scene.
Understandable. Do you, and you may not know this, so, because I know you heard the shot, do you know at what point your brother had the gun? Do you know if he had it when they got in their first fight, or did he have to go get it, or do you know that at all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And do you remember if you ever heard your brother?
I didn't see him ever leave the room.
Okay.
So it was so fast. All that was so fast. Like I'm on the ground rolling around and I'm screaming, and
this probably happened in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean it was like super fast.
She didn't ever see him leave the room.
And I don't know if you know this or not. Does your brother normally carry a gun? Like, I carry a gun everywhere I go.
Right. Like, I know he's a gun person. Like, he has guns and things.
Okay.
He's good with guns.
Did you know that he had one with him?
No.
When he came over?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Because he's very, very professional.
Professional.
Proficient. Professional.
Professional.
Responsible is usually a good.
Right.
Responsible is usually a good way to say it. She says professional. Professional what? Professional hitman? Is that what you meant, Lori?
Sorry, I was prepping coffee for tomorrow morning.
Professional hitman.
Right.
It's all good. Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting part. Now this is Tylee's interview, and we're skipping ahead 32 minutes into it because she's just basically sitting there waiting. Basically, the other lady's talking to Lori until we get to this point in the video. And so that's when she leaves the room next to here and then comes in this door and sits down. So that's where we're at in this one. But here's the whole link for the video for the whole thing if you'd like it. Be interesting to hear what she has to say about it all.
Looks so sad.
Hi. So you have to spell your name because we're all taking guesses on how to spell it, but we're not sure.
Tylee.
Okay, I was right. And what's your last name?
Ryan, Ryan.
And your birthday? And then, do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What's your phone number? So I know this is going to kind of sound like kind of a silly question because it's super broad. But can you basically tell me what happened today? And you can start at whatever place makes sense for you to kind of start and explain. I'll probably kind of ask you questions as we go a little bit.
So I woke up probably around like 7:50, I want to say, because I heard yelling from like right outside my door. I don't even know where, but I immediately like jumped up, and I have a baseball bat because when I was living at my uncle's by myself, I just wanted something to like feel safer, and I'm not old enough to get like pepper spray or anything, so I was like, okay, I'll get a baseball bat. So I have that.
So your bedroom, you said right outside your bedroom door, and I didn't go in the house, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. So what is your bedroom door open to?
My bedroom door open, so the room that my uncle was staying in, the room that's kind of like the guest room, if my room's right here, that's right there.
Okay.
And then my little brother's room, and then kitchen's kind of back here, so it's like a little hallway, and then right here is kind of where everything happened.
Okay.
Like the big, you walk in and
like big great room, kind of living room.
Yeah, right now it just has mirrors up because my mom wanted a dance room.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Kind of unconventional, but
hey, whatever makes you happy. It's your guys' house. So.
Right. So yeah, I immediately just jumped up and I grabbed my baseball bat and I opened the door, and it was my stepdad, you know, outside the doorway, and then my uncle kind of in the doorway, and then I could hear my mom behind him, and he was just screaming at both of them. Like, I don't even know what he was saying because honestly I was just too like wired, I guess.
Huh.
So I told him to take a few steps back. I was like, you're too close, you need to step back. And he was like, then tell me what to do. And I just kind of just stood there, and then my uncle kind of moved out of the way, and then my mom kind of went past him and into like the big room.
Okay.
Where everything happened, and so I walked with them, and then I saw.
They were more in the hallway.
Yeah, they were at like the end of the hallway,
Okay.
basically. And so my mom walked all the way around, and he kind of followed them, and I just kind of stood. My uncle was like right here, and then my stepdad right here, and then me and my mom were kind of right here. And I didn't do anything with the baseball bat. I kind of just held it there, and he was getting really close to my mom, so I kind of stuck it out like between them, and they were both just yelling, and he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're gonna go to jail. And I just kind of stood there with the baseball bat, and I didn't really say anything.
When you said they were yelling, who was yelling?
It was mostly my stepdad.
Okay.
Well, he was really the only one like yelling.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was kind of like responding, but I honestly couldn't tell you what they were saying. It was kind of just like all jumbled up in my head. And so I just kind of stuck the baseball bat out there, and then he just grabbed it and tried to take it. So I held on to the end, and then eventually I fell, and he kind of took it into his hands like he was going to do something with it. And that's when...
So when you fell, he ended up with the bat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I fell to the ground, and then my uncle kind of like, I saw him take a step back, so my uncle, I think, grabbed him and kind of took him back so he couldn't like do anything.
You saw your stepdad like take a step back?
Take a step back, because he was really close
Okay.
to begin with, and then and so my mom said to go with JJ, and so I ran out the door, and then I kind of just stood there with my little brother. He was in the front seat of the car, and so I just kind of opened the door and just stood there, and like, he was trying to get out, and I was like, no, we have to stay in, and I was like, oh, like, I told him, like, do you want to go in the Jeep? And then he was like, no, and then I realized that my car was blocked in, so I couldn't anyways. I was like, okay, like, just stay here, and then eventually my mom came out, and then we left from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened inside of the house? Has your mom kind of explained it all to you?
I just kind of asked her, like, because I heard a noise, which I know what it was now, but it sounded like, because I knew that the base of I was in there, it sounded like someone, like, took it and hit it really hard against the floor.
Okay.
And so I was kind of like Al's okay, right? Because that's my uncle. So I just wanted to make sure that, like, my stepdad didn't do anything to my uncle and stuff. And so she was like, no, like, Al's fine. Like, we're just going to take JJ to school. And I was like, okay. So I just got in the car, and then we went to Burger King because my little brother wanted breakfast, which was chicken fries for some reason.
Okay. I do dinner for breakfast all the time.
Breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast.
So to kind of back up a little bit, so you had talked about your stepdad, when you put the bat out, your stepdad was coming towards your mom. Can you describe to me a little bit better kind of what was going on there? Like, is there a reason you put the bat up?
Yeah, he was walking towards my mom, and I just didn't want him to do anything. So I kind of just stuck out the bat. Like, my mom was right beside me, and he was right there, so it wasn't, like, between them.
Okay.
It was kind of just, like, I just stuck it out to be, like, keep your distance, kind of.
When you say you didn't want him to do anything, what did you think he was going to do?
Hit her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, for the most part, been pretty, like, mundane, but there have been a few, like, violent times with him when I was really scared that he was gonna hit me or hit my mom, like, just because everything was kind of crazy. Me and him have always kind of not gotten along, like, just since I was little, and so there have been a few times that we've gotten in fights and stuff like that, and so, so I'm just kind of always scared of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so that happened, and he grabbed the bat from you. So kind of tell me that again real quick.
So I kind of stuck it out, and this is when he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're going to jail, and I didn't say anything, because I'm like, okay. And so I'm holding it by, like, the end of the bat, like, the place where you hold it, and so he kind of took it, and I kind of, like, lunged forward and kind of lost, like, my footing, and so my mom was like, just let go, and so, I kind of, like, slipped and I fell, kind of on, like, my side.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from that, my mom said to go to the car, so I just got up and ran out the door.
Okay, did you see, when you fell towards your side, did you see what he did with the bat?
No, I wasn't really looking in that direction, because from where I fell, the door was kind of more in my line of vision, because I fell looking this way and the door was, like, right there, so I didn't look back.
So he was he was at a different line of sight than what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point you saw him kind of take a step back, and from what you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, you didn't necessarily see your uncle pulling back, but it seems like that maybe.
It seems like he wouldn't have taken a step back on his own, so it's more of an assumption than anything. I didn't see him physically take him back.
And does that make sense based on where your uncle was at that time?
Yeah, he was behind him, because he wasn't on this side with me and my mom, so he was behind him.
Okay.
Because that's kind of just the order where everyone walked out.
And when that happened, and then your mom told you to go, did you see what happened with your stepdad and uncle?
No.
Okay. And then once you went outside with your brother, you never came back inside.
Oh, I went to go get my mom's purse
Okay.
from inside so that we could have like her wallet and everything. But this was all happening, like I said, like in the bigger room right here. And so I went through the garage door. And so the garage door is right here. And then there's like a little hallway. And then this is kind of where everything is. And then this is my mom's room.
Okay.
So when I went in, I kind of like just tuned everything out, ran to my mom's closet, ran back. So I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything.
When did you go back in and get her purse?
After my mom came out.
Okay. So after you heard that loud noise?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you heard the loud noise, was your mom outside or inside?
I'm trying to think. I think she was inside when it happened and the door opened like immediately after.
Okay. So very quickly after the door opened?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a long period of time because I remember not like thinking about it for that long, and if my mom hadn't come out immediately, I would have, been thinking about it for a lot longer than I had.
So obviously I don't know like your mom and stepdad and uncle like you do. I don't. So can you tell me kind of where the three of them were at kind of emotionally and how they were behaving when all this was happening?
When all this was happening or like before?
When all this was happening. So like when you came out of your room and he took the bat from you and...
Yeah, so my stepdad was like, he was like, I don't even know how to explain it. He honestly just looked like kind of a crazy person.
Okay.
Like screaming and like his face was beet red. He just looked like really mad. I remember when he took the bat from me, I saw his face for like a split second and I honestly like, it didn't even look like him. He just looked like pure like rage. Like he was just seeing red.
Whoa.
So I haven't really seen him like all the way like that before. That's like the craziest I've ever seen him.
Wow.
And then my uncle was kind of calm. Like not super calm, obviously it was like a stressful situation, but he's like, I don't know, he was kind of just standing there in the doorway, kind of just being protective of my mom, but he wasn't yelling or really saying anything.
Okay.
And my mom was just
Even
kind
Colby
of,
said
he was
he
yelling
would.
and my mom was kind of just like talking.
It is heartbreaking.
So yeah.
I can't believe she's...
But you don't remember, if you do, like what your mom was saying at all or what
I mean,
what he
listen
was
to that
mad
again.
about? Noise.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Listen
when
to that
you heard the
again.
loud noise, was your mom outside or inside?
I'm trying to think. I think she was inside when it happened longer than I had.
So obviously I don't know like your mom and stepdad and uncle like you do. I don't. So can you tell me kind of where the three of them were at kind of emotionally and how they were behaving when all this was happening?
When all this was happening or like before?
When all this was happening. So like when you came out of your room and he took the bat from you and...
Yeah, so my stepdad was like, he was like,
Listen
I
to
don't even know
this.
how to explain it. He honestly just looked like kind of a crazy person.
Okay.
Like screaming and like his face was beet red. He just looked like really mad. I remember when he took the bat from me, I saw his face for like a split second and I honestly like, it didn't even look like him. He just looked like pure like rage. Like he
Wow.
was just seeing red. So I haven't really seen him like all the way like that before. That's like the craziest I've ever seen him.
The craziest
and then
she's
my
ever seen him.
uncle was kind of calm, like not super calm. Obviously, it was like a stressful situation, but he's like, I don't know. He was kind of just standing there in the doorway, kind of just being protective of my mom, but he wasn't yelling or really saying anything.
Okay.
And my mom was just kind of, he was yelling and my mom was kind of just like talking.
Okay.
So yeah.
But you don't remember, if you do, like what your mom was saying at all, or what he was mad about?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Honestly, like
we're talking about something that probably happened over 2 seconds of time.
Yeah,
so-
honestly, it feels like 2 seconds and 40 minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what they were really saying. I just kind of heard yelling over everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of just do that whenever things are like really loud. I kind of just like tune what people are saying out, because I don't know, just yelling isn't fun, obviously, for a kid to hear. And with my biological dad, I always heard him like screaming and stuff, so I kind of just learned how to like tune it out.
So when you woke up to yelling, and you had said you weren't sure what they were actually saying, did you know who was yelling when you heard the yelling?
Yeah, I knew it was my stepdad. Well, at first I kind of didn't. Like, when you first wake up, you're kind of disoriented. And then I remembered that my stepdad was, like, coming in to take my little brother to school today, so I immediately, like, knew it was him.
Mm-hmm.
And then my uncle I knew was staying, so I knew that was him. And then my mom, obviously, I knew that was her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, so you stepped out of your room and you took the bat with you. Is there a reason why you took the bat with you?
Honestly, I think that was kind of just like first instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, I didn't ever hit him with the bat or anything like that. It was kind of just for like security, I guess, to know that I had it. I didn't do anything with it. In hindsight, I probably just shouldn't have brought it out at all because it caused more trouble. But it was kind of just first instinct, and it was right by my bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just like jumped up and grabbed it.
So I'm trying not to put like words in your mouth and stuff.
You're good.
So was there something in particular that you were concerned about that you would have taken the bat with you?
Only if he had been violent towards like me or my mom.
I'm assuming you're talking about your stepdad?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna take the bat and like do something with it. It was kind of just like, I need something in my hands to like feel safer.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my kind of second dumb question is, and I don't know that there necessarily is, but I always kind of want to make sure, is there anything that, we didn't talk about, or I didn't ask you about, or anything that you think is important, or anything that I should know? Because it's harder for you because you were there, and so I'm asking questions about something I didn't even see. So I just want to make sure, like, I didn't miss something or anything that you think I should know about.
That was pretty much it.
Okay. And if you think of something, in 5 minutes and tomorrow or what else, we can always talk again. It's totally fine. So I talked to your mom about, we have some victim services people that work here. They're not cops. They're really good at what they do. So I really want your mom to talk to them, because I think it would be good that your mom has, and you guys have maybe some extra support if you need anything go moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to check in with your mom real quick, and if she's good to go, then I'm going to introduce one of them to you guys. That way you guys can talk before I take you guys back.
Oh, you she's good
Sound
to go.
fair? Okay. Do you have any questions for me at all?
No.
Okay. If you do, let me know, okay? Okay.
All right. Again, here's the link to that full video if you want to have the full video. What's up, Butterfly? So Lori's ready to go. She's got that pool party to get going. Hey, neighbors. So now there's 2 different videos floating out there, and I just want everybody to know it's just 2 different camera angles. I'm not going to be showing this one because all you see is the back of his head, but I do want to share the link to this video also. and I just wanted to give you guys that viewpoint because this is another camera, but they call it a different part. So it's not really a different part, it's just a different camera. I'm not going to play that one because you really can't see much except for the back of his head. So I did want to show that real quick. And we'll go ahead and switch to
Put that bat down.
Oops.
He goes, what do you got that?
to his interview, and we're actually going to watch where you can see the sideways of his body. Now there's two different parts. There's one that we're going to watch, then it's going to take a break, then we're going to skip ahead to the end of the interview, and then that'll be the complete interview with Alex Cox. So we went ahead and had Lori, Tylee, and Alex, all individuals that were at the scene of the crime when everything took place. Now these are interview videos, or however you want to call them, from after they arrived at the scene. This is the same day. 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's starting. How does it feel right now?
Sore, but not bad.
Okay. Any headaches you have at all right now? No?
A little bit.
Just a little bit? Okay. You're not feeling nauseous or anything?
A little bit, not bad.
Okay. Do you want me to call paramedics, check you out, or?
No, I think it's more adrenaline than anything.
Gotcha. Do you have any medical issues that might be underlying that?
Yeah, I'm slightly overweight.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, join the club. Other than that, high blood pressure or anything, or you take medication that you need to have?
No. Just,
Okay.
It was a little high in my last physical, but not
okay.
nothing major, no medication or anything like that.
Okay.
Hey, Rob, if you don't mind hanging tight, do you need another water or are you good? Oh, you got one?
I got an extra.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. Be right back, Rob.
Yep, all right.
I wonder what he's thinking. He's just sitting like a stone in the grass, just chilling in the same spot. He is not moving. Oh, now he's moving his head a little bit. Oh, now he's moving.
I sit a lot, like tired sitting in the car, driving around.
Yeah.
I want to stand a lot of times. It's just too hard to write and stand.
I'm all set, Robin.
Okay.
If you're good.
Yep, I'm good. The only thing is what he was using to
Okay.
clean his head. Other than that, this is all his property.
Okay.
I did call an ID tech to have that.
Photograph. You did?
No, I did
Okay.
not. I did not.
If you could have a call one for the
I'll do
interview
that
room
right now.
downstairs, thank you.
bet. We still on pot?
I think they were gonna clear it, but I had my radio off. All right, Alexander, my name's Nate Moffett. I'm in the Sacramento Police Department. I wanted to walk through what happened today. Just write a couple things down. So, are you still living out on Cherie Street?
Yeah.
Okay. So. Are you working right now?
I'm off this week.
Okay. Where do you work at? What do you do?
I'm driving a truck. Mostly hauling has waste.
Okay. What's the cell phone number for you? Okay. What about social?
Beep, beep.
Okay, I have very little understanding or knowledge of what happened. Patrol kind of, the officer that talked to you out there, it kind of turns into a film game. So, you know what I mean? When they go, yeah, this is what he says, but they're kind of rambling through it real fast. And same with your sister. Your sister's name is Lori or Lauren?
Lori.
L-O-R-I. L-O-R-I? Okay. So, the big thing that I want to do is just make sure that we have all the details accurate and factual. So, because kind of some of the information we got from Patrol didn't really match up what Lori told us compared to. So, walk me through what happened today.
Well, I stayed the night at my sister's.
Okay.
We were planning to go do something fun day. We hadn't really decided. I was thinking maybe I was going to take her to the range.
Okay.
Or go do something.
Okay.
And I'll take JD to some water park or movies or whatever. So I stayed there last night, and then this morning Charles showed up, and I don't know what started it.
And Charles is your brother-in-law. He and Lori are married.
Yes.
Okay.
So he showed up. He was following her and yelling. And then I got between them. And then Tylee came out with her bat. And I had separated for a minute, and then my sister walked around me there in the living room. And then Charles was following Lori and yelling. And Tylee told him to get back. She took her bat like that and shoved him, and he took the bat away. And I said, "What are you doing?" And I got between them, and then he hit me. And I just went down, and when I got up, he was still yelling. And so I went into the bedroom where I was staying, grabbed my gun, and came back.
Okay.
And told him to put the gun down, or the bat down. And he came at me and was saying, what are you gonna do? Like that, and come to me with the bat. I said, put it down. He wouldn't, he came at me, so.
Okay. So when that argument first started between Lori and Charles, where in the house were they?
I don't know.
Okay. Where did you first?
I was in my bedroom.
Okay, so you were in your bedroom and you heard the argument.
When they came right towards me.
Okay, so they were coming down the hallway towards the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, so you hear the argument, you step out, what's the first thing that you see?
Charles chasing after Lori and yelling.
Okay. Had Tylee already gotten the bat? Did he already have the bat? Okay.
No.
So Charles is coming towards Lori.
He's
They're coming your
towards
way.
Lori, and I shoved him back.
Okay.
I said, "What are you doing?" Because he's coming at her aggressively.
Okay.
He's a big dude, so I was not gonna hurt my sister.
Okay. So he's coming at her.
Yeah.
And you shoved him back.
Yeah.
What happened right after that? And that's in the. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
He got back up and he comes right to me, doesn't look at me, and continues to yell at Lori.
Okay.
So he's maybe this far away.
Are you in the hallway of the house, or where are you?
Right close to the doorway of that bedroom.
Of the bedroom you were staying?
Yes.
Okay. So you're right near the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I don't remember why. He backed up, and then my sister came around behind me, and they ended up in the living room. And then while they're on the way to the living room, Tylee comes out of her bedroom, which is adjacent to the one I was staying in.
Okay.
With her bat.
Okay.
Yelling at Charles. Actually, she was behind Charles at first, and then she got around in front of him in the living room.
Okay. So he then went back. They went back towards the living room.
Yes,
after you shoved him. Did he fall to the ground when you shoved him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So he falls to the ground. He gets back up. You're blocking between him and Lori.
Yes.
And he basically is talking past you, still yelling at Lori.
Yes. Exactly.
What's he saying?
I am.
Okay. So as you're standing there between them, what happened right after that? Is that when Tylee came out with her bat?
No, he backed up.
Okay.
He yelled something, and then he backed up, and then Lori went by me and around me in the hallway. So he backed up. I had cleared the doorway. So then she came around, and then Charles was behind her, pursuing her again aggressively.
Okay.
Tylee came out, yelled at him with the bat.
Okay. And are you guys in the living room then, or still in the hallway?
It starts in the hallway and then goes to the living room.
Okay.
So Tylee gets around him in the living room. He stops. Tylee goes around to the front of him, tells him to back off.
What I find it easiest to do in situations like this is to just kind of draw like a rough floor plan.
Sure. So we'll make this the living room. All right, and then this is the hallway.
Okay.
And then this is the kitchen. So Tylee's bedroom is here, my bedroom is here, and then the living room is here.
Okay, just living room on there, so I know, and then you said that's kitchen.
Yeah.
And then
so the doorway's here.
okay. Is this area of the house where all of this incident was focused
Yes.
at? Okay.
Yep. And then there's another bedroom here. This is JJ's bedroom.
Okay. So you first get involved when they're down by your room.
They come all the way into she comes in the room and he comes right here and I stopped it right here.
Okay, so she came into your room.
Yeah.
Okay, so she comes into your room. He's coming at her aggressively, and that's when you pushed him.
Yep.
So you push him down.
Yep.
And then he gets back up.
Yep.
And
then he yells, and then he backs up.
Okay.
And then Lori goes around and goes around him, and they're still going at it.
Okay.
Right. And then Tylee comes out when she hears what's going on. She has her bat.
Okay. Is it a metal bat?
Yeah, it's
plastic
a
bat.
aluminum bat.
Okay.
So she comes at him because she's tiny, so that's like her thing. You know, she doesn't have anything. She wants to help defend her mom.
Okay.
So she comes at him, and then when
and they've already moved back towards the living room.
So they're going this way.
Okay.
So
I almost need a layout of the house. It gets confusing when they're trying to explain it.
Then he takes the bat away from her.
Right.
Fortunately, you turn around and crack me.
Is that the injury that's caused on your head? Okay.
Well, there was some shoving first, and I got spun around.
Okay.
And then popped. So I go back here, grab my gun, and come back out. He's still yelling and threatening me.
Okay.
And then, so I was standing here, and he was there.
Okay. So you're standing right there. He's right here.
He's there.
And you said, what happened? What happened when you came out with the gun?
So put that bat down. He's like, what are you gonna do? So you're gonna threaten me? I was like, no, I'm just gonna defend myself. So you put that bat down. He goes, what are you gonna do like that? And he came at me.
Okay.
And he'd already hit me in the head.
Okay. So he came at you at the bat. What was he doing with the bat when he came at you?
It was in his right hand like this.
Okay. So he's holding it low and he's coming at
Yeah.
you. Okay. So you gave him. How many times would you say you told him to like put the bat down?
Once.
Once. Okay. And then he started advancing towards you.
Yes.
How many shots did you fire?
I don't know. Couple.
Okay. Were Tylee and your sister?
I didn't see him, so I don't know where they were.
Where's JJ at during all this?
He's already out in the car.
Okay, so he's sitting out in the car.
I think.
Okay. But you, as far as you think or understand, you're not sure where they were.
Correct.
He's in the corner of the living room.
They were no longer in the room.
Okay.
When I come back out.
Okay. So they're out of the room, so it's just you and him.
Yes.
And he basically comes at you with the bat.
Yeah.
You tell him to put it down.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
And what'd you tell him?
I didn't say anything. He's coming at me, and I'm holding the gun.
Okay.
If you're gonna attack someone with a gun, you gotta be ready for.
It seems like he changed his story a little bit there once he's
So,
being asked
I
questions.
just want to make sure, because he basically, you had said earlier that he had the bat.
Yep.
And
Right.
asked, like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You had already told him to put the bat down, and then he just came at you,
Yep.
and you shot him.
Yep.
Okay. And you're thinking a couple times?
It was more than one shot.
Okay. So more than one shot. What kind of gun was it?
45.
Okay. What make?
It's a Springfield XDM.
Okay. So it's an XDM 45.
Yeah.
What type of ammo were you carrying in it? Do you know?
Just standard.
Like full metal jacket?
Yeah.
Target shooting? Okay.
Yeah.
So you fire a couple times.
Yep.
You don't know where they're at.
They're gone.
They're gone. What happened right after that?
Right after that, I went to the kitchen and rinsed my hands off because I had blood on the back of my head, and then I went back into the room and put the gun down and grabbed my phone, and then went back into the kitchen and called 911.
Okay. And then did you see your sister and Tylee again? Did they come back in or not?
Not until they drove up.
Okay. So then they drove up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they drove up outside.
Gotcha. What's going on with Charles and Lori? I mean, does he live there?
No.
Okay. So where's he living now?
He lives in Houston.
Okay. For work, or are they separated, or?
Separated and for work.
Okay. So both. How long have they been
split up,
separated?
January.
Okay. So 6 months or so, 6, 7 months.
Yeah. He's had some pretty erratic behavior since that split up.
Okay.
He came and threatened me and Tylee at my house in February or March or whatever.
Okay.
And there was a little confrontation, mostly between Tylee and Charles.
Were the police involved in that one?
No.
Okay.
No. I was just supervising to make sure that he didn't hurt her.
Okay. So, was he working out of state before January? Or?
He always has worked out of state.
Okay, so he always works out of state. What's he do for a living?
He does annuities.
Okay. So, what was he in town for today? Does he come into town often, or?
Occasionally to see JJ.
Okay. Is he JJ and Tylee's dad?
He's JJ's dad. Well, actually, he's Charles's nephew. He's his niece's kid.
JJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was a meth addict, and they adopted JJ.
Okay. So they adopted JJ,
Yeah.
but Tylee is not.
Not his.
Okay.
So he would be a stepdad, I guess.
Okay, so stepdad. When's the last time he's been in town, or when's the last time you've seen him?
Last time I saw him was at my house in February, March.
Okay. Was he here last night? Did you guys have any interactions last night?
No.
Is there any history of domestic violence between Lori and Charles?
Not physically that I know.
Okay. So, how old is Charles?
60, maybe.
Okay. How old's your sister?
About 44 or 5.
Okay.
Is it sad that I don't know?
I have to do the math every time, so you don't worry about it.
It's hard enough remembering my own age.
Right. Each birthday, you're like, that didn't happen.
After 45, who cares?
Is there anything else that you could think of that I didn't ask about that I need to know right now?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Did Lori ever say, like in the last couple of days, that Charles was coming to town?
Yeah, she said he was coming to pick up JJ.
Okay. So you guys were expecting him to show up today?
Yeah.
Okay. So you knew, okay. It wasn't like he just showed up unexpectedly?
No, it wasn't a surprise or anything like that.
But you don't know what they were arguing or fighting about?
His behavior was a surprise. But was not a surprise.
Okay. Let me just walk you through my understanding of it to make sure that I'm accurate. You were in your room.
Yeah.
Had you even gotten up and like been out of your room this morning?
Brushing my teeth.
Okay. So you're in your room. You hear.
I'm just on the phone, and then I just hear them coming around the hall quick.
Had you seen Charles before, or like that morning?
No.
Okay. So you hear them arguing.
Yeah.
And
First time I see him is at the doorway.
At your door.
And I shove him back.
So Lori comes into your room.
Yep.
You're in your room.
Yep.
At the doorway and basically get between him and Lori.
Yep.
You push Charles back.
Yep.
He probably fell down to the ground or did fall to the ground.
He stumbled back.
Okay. So he stumbles back. He comes right back up,
Yep.
and he's talking past you,
Yes.
still yelling at Lori.
Yes.
But you don't know what he was yelling at.
I don't remember.
Okay. So at some point in time, Charles backs up. Lori comes out, and they both go around you and towards the living room.
Yes.
Tylee comes out of her room with a bag.
Yeah.
And basically, they've made their way into the living room.
Yes.
So Tylee pokes her dad in the back.
In the front.
In the front. Okay, so she's
yeah.
come around this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's come around.
So this is Tylee, and that's Charles.
Okay, so she pokes him in the back,
Yeah.
or in the chest with the bat.
Yeah.
You know how many times about, or
Just once, and
just
he
once?
grabbed that.
So he grabs the bat, takes it away. You come towards him.
Yeah.
And then what happened right after that?
He shoved me and spun me around,
Okay.
and then cracked me in the back of the head.
Cracked you in the back of the head. He
Yeah.
hit you one time?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go back to your room.
I stumbled forward, yeah, and then I went back in.
Did you fall to the ground when you got hit with the bat?
No, just my head bounced.
Okay.
He said he fell.
So you go back to your room.
Yeah.
Get the gun.
Yeah.
I could have swore he
Come
said he
back to the
fell
living room.
earlier.
Now, Tylee and Lori are gone.
Yep.
And
It's just me and Charles in the living room.
okay. And Charles, what's he doing again?
He's got the bat,
Okay.
and he's looking at me, and he's going, "Whoa." And I told him, I said, Charles, put that bat down. And he goes, what are you gonna do about it?
How are you holding the gun when that happened?
Holding it right
Okay,
at
so
him.
you pointed at him.
Yeah.
You tell him, Charles, put the gun down,
Yeah,
or put the bat down.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he say?
Like, what are you gonna do about it?
Okay.
And then comes at me.
Okay. And then you fire a couple times.
Yeah.
But you're not sure how many. You know it was more than one.
I'm pretty sure it was two.
Two? Okay, 2 shots. Where were you aiming on his body?
Just center.
Okay, so you're pretty sure 2 shots center mass.
Yeah.
He falls to the ground. You don't see Lori or Tylee anymore.
Correct.
You go to the kitchen, grab a rag for your head,
Yeah, throw some paper towels and wash my hands off.
and then go back to your room, put the gun down,
Yeah.
grab your phone,
Yeah.
come back to the kitchen and call me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they walked me through and tried to do CPR.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of?
Which they proved he
that
never
I
did.
need to know, or that's important to this?
So that's all there is.
Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to know. I'm going to get a tech out here to take some photographs of you if you're okay with that.
That's fine.
So if you want to hang tight for me, you need the restroom or anything?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, hang tight for me. I'll be right back. I'm going to go have somebody take some photographs of your head.
Yep.
This back in there. All right, I'll be right back.
I don't know. I thought in the beginning he said he fell down.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. Let me see. So now.
I mean,
he's-
him and Lori are acting so nonchalant, like no big deal.
Mhm. Yeah, and he just wants to make sure that he, the self-defense part isn't changing.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more time, I'm going to go back to that. Let me see. Because I could have swore he had a little slightly bit different story in the very beginning there until he's got questions.
I've got to do some spots of your hands too, and then your injuries. Did you spell your last name for me?
COX.
And what's your first name?
Alexander.
And what's your birthday?
Dang.
Well, I would say that's about the easiest last name to spell in a long time. But and while she's getting stuff there, I'll just ask you some questions about it. So I see you got this on your, is that from today?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got something on the back of your head. Do you have any other injuries? You feel any bruising anywhere else?
I don't feel anything.
Okay. Then we'll take a look at his back.
But yet he got whopped whacked in the head with a
Might
baseball
have you
bat.
take your shirt off and take a quick look and see if you can mark your injuries back there. Sure.
So I know you're hit in your head. Are you okay to stand up?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna have you stand up just right against this wall right here.
All right.
And then I can drain my bladder after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then
So
we'll
go face me first.
What's that?
So
Face
turn and
us.
face me first.
Oh.
Basically, I'm gonna do a set of overall photographs,
Sure.
and then we'll do your injuries one by
Okay.
one. Okay. And then I'll swab your hands, and it won't take that long. Just look right at me.
Now, were you, these are clothes you were wearing at the time of everything?
Okay, look right at me. Okay, turn and face that way with your whole body. Face the wall so your back's to me. Turn to your right. Okay, face me again. All right, and then if you
You know what's
could
sad when you're posing for photographs and you don't have a good side?
put your hands like this. Lower and just like that, so you're tilted down more.
They both got jokes
So
and
you're like
laughs.
this, tilt.
Oh, hands
Okay,
tilted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Right.
just-
All right.
Turns out we can move the camera around.
Okay, and then palms up. Okay, so I'm gonna swab your hands right now, just so that
Yeah.
I'm not manipulating.
The interview with
And then,
his widow is going to
yeah,
be
as
real
soon as she's all done here,
interesting.
I'll get you into, we're gonna.
And the ex-wife. We'll be getting into that tomorrow
Of
night.
each of your injuries, we'll check your back out.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you go use the restroom.
And
I'll get you a new
Melanie.
Water. Or do you want soda or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Water would be good after, but
Okay.
not before.
Face mask, do you?
What's that?
Do the face mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a full service shop.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's either PPE or she's Chinese.
Maybe I'm feeling sick. No, I've been sick.
Oh
Knowing
my
her,
gosh.
I'm gonna go with sick.
You never know. We all have a little piece of everything in us, right?
No, around here we come in contact with so many different people, and then everyone's got kids.
Yes.
And then you next thing you know, one person's sick, and it could be the middle of summer when there's nothing going around, and within a week, everyone's sick.
Yeah.
This is more just so I don't have my DNA on your
Very good.
swabs. I just need to have that mixed in there.
I miss the old days when I wasn't in the office. I was out in the field. Then I knew that I only had to deal with the people I was coming in contact with, not all this going
Yeah.
on. Is that your house down there?
No, I live in St. Valley.
Oh, okay.
No, it's my sister's house.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a pretty nice neighborhood. I've never been in that neighborhood ever before.
Why all the small talk?
It's a maze, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I had to sit forever to try to get a code to get inside.
I took Google Maps and I'm like, you're still not taking me where I need to go.
Everything south of Queen Creek is like that down there. When they built all those neighborhoods in the early 2000s, it was more aesthetically pleasing if it was circular and the roads didn't go straight.
Meandered and nobody could get in or out.
Yeah.
Without a Sherpa.
Yeah, I grew up in the North Valley where everything's straight lines, but not down there. You can put your that on.
Okay.
Done with that one. Relax it.
Okay. This way.
How far out in St. Ann are you?
Combs and Ironwood.
Okay.
They finally finished Combs and Riggs. It connects.
Wow, about time.
15 years too late.
Yeah, yeah.
They shut down right now for a month to do that. exchange that comes in Rittenhouse.
Uh-huh.
You know, where it's a super
Yeah.
one lane left turn.
Yeah, if you want to go up to the pork shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they shut that down for a month to do this redo on this road.
Of course, the one area where most of the like tourist traffic for over there is the worst traffic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we shut that down. That's Pinal County, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Okay, I'm gonna do a swab of the inside of your cheek. It's just to get your own DNA
Sure.
that way. Okay, so you'll just open your mouth. I'm going to take the swabs, rub it on the inside of both sides.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. All right, let me finish with the first.
Sure.
So the inside of this hand, there's no injury, right? That's
Right.
just stray blood.
Yes.
So that's new. Okay, so if you can just put your arm like this. Okay. Do you know what that one's from?
This?
This one?
When we scuffled.
Okay.
On the Sunday.
Okay, let's put it up.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Is that just an old scar?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, Cassie?
Okay.
Isn't that his desk? Go back to the
Yeah, and no injuries on the top of your hands at all, right? Okay. Nothing else hurts on your arms?
Nope.
So the only other thing is the back of your
Yeah.
head? Does it hurt only on this side or on this side too?
No, just on the
Just
just
where
right
that
there.
actually-
Yeah.
That is, okay.
Yeah, it's just pimples and I got those ugly red moles.
Okay. I just wanted to
Looks like
make
it's
sure
a
that
little-
wasn't another,
Oh.
another mark.
I don't know. No, I can't see the back of my head, so I'm sure it's not pretty.
Oh, actually, your haircut's pretty decent.
The giggles.
Except that, voice up, you still take it. Except for the lump there. Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they don't take at least 2 of each one just in case one of them doesn't turn out.
Yeah,
Not everybody uses this.
I've never seen it used before.
I do it all the time.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Step stool?
No.
Oh.
I have a viewer on my camera, so I can.
Oh,
hold
nice.
The camera.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just saying, I've never seen this.
I've got the adjustable LCD on my Sony.
Okay.
They're really nice.
Yeah, it makes you be able to see different angles without having to.
Yeah, you can shoot crazy angles and still see what you're doing. You don't have to have your eye behind the camera. It's really nice.
All right, I'm gonna have you sit just so I can do a couple more.
Okay.
That one is the other one's being much because it's heavy to hold those.
Especially when you're holding up at an angle like that.
They'll be excited when they switch to the new mirrorless. Those things are light.
My wife has one of those.
I love that thing. I just got one 6 months ago.
You said you saw me?
Yeah, the A73.
She is the A6 something.
That's 600?
Yeah, I think that's
6,000.
It's one. So she doesn't let me use it.
Sure.
I just know what it costs.
Yeah. I own this one at home and this is an expensive camera.
Well, you can also use it commercially too.
What's that one?
This one is the 700 or
Nikon?
750.
Oh, D750. Oh, those are really nice.
So it's full frame.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really nice.
It's 32 meg. That's good resolution.
So have you seen that? I think we want to check under your shirt.
Yeah,
Make
sure.
there's
Can I take my shirt off?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Just
You
spin around.
normally a little red right here?
Yeah.
Okay, just normal, okay. Just want to check. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna take care that there's nothing there.
No.
No, I don't see anything.
Okay, and then face me?
Obviously, if you later on feel you got a bruise forming, it may not be visible now, let us know and we'll get a photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, your neck's pretty red, but that's normal, right?
What's up?
I just want to make sure, so you're pretty
Yeah,
red.
that's super good shade.
No.
From the truck.
That's all I need, right?
Come on, let's go.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just zoning into these interviews, watching body language, kind of trying to pay attention to their stories.
Sorry about that.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Thanks for your patience.
No worries.
All right, so
It's fun staring at nothing.
so just want to kind of go back through a couple things real quick.
Yep.
Your sister had mentioned something kind of historically. I guess she said she just recently moved back. She went to Houston or somewhere, and then recently moved back about 3 weeks ago.
Good, more
She
questions.
was saying something about Charles texting your other brother. Is it Andy?
Adam.
Adam? Do you know anything about that? Okay.
No.
So I'll kind of walk through an order.
Sure.
When the argument initially came your way, you said you were on the phone?
No.
Okay, you were just in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said you were on the phone.
No.
So you weren't on the phone with anybody?
No, my phone was in that room.
Okay, your phone was in the room, so were you?
Yeah.
And then they came your way?
Yeah.
And then you're not sure where Lori and Tylee were when you came
When
back?
I came
with
back
the
out,
gun?
that's correct.
Okay. Where was your gun at in the room?
It was in my bag in a case at the foot of the bed. So the bed was here, and then the gun was here in a case.
Okay. Inside like a duffel bag or something?
Yeah, it was like a zip, a little orange bag.
Okay.
And then my case was in there.
Okay. Is it the hard plastic?
Yeah, the hard
case?
plastic with the foam and the extra clips and everything.
Okay. Is there a reason you spent the night there last night?
No, not really.
Okay.
Just hang out. We're gonna hang out today.
Okay. Did your sister ever tell you she was concerned for her safety or well-being for Charles coming there?
No,
Okay.
but watching him interact with her, I was.
Okay. So, do you normally carry a gun with you?
Yeah.
Okay. But you didn't have it on your person during this?
No.
Okay. When we talked about Tylee basically having the bat, Charles taking the bat
Yeah.
away from Tylee, you said there was a struggle after that.
Yeah.
What happened?
I grabbed
to
her
the
from
best-
behind.
Okay.
And then we went to the ground. And then we separated, and he hit me, and then that's when I left.
Okay. So you grabbed him from behind.
Yeah.
And how come you grabbed him from behind?
Because he was in front of me, and he was going after Tylee with the bat.
What was he doing with the bat?
He just grabbed it from her, and then I jumped in. I don't know what.
Okay.
Now he said he
So
was
he was
turned
going
around.
after Tylee with the bat, and you grabbed him from behind, around the neck or
over the shoulder like this.
Okay. You grabbed him from behind.
Yeah.
You pulled him back, and you guys
I
both
pulled him
went
back.
to
We
the
both
ground.
went to the ground. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see him swing the bat at you?
No.
Okay. So you pulled him to the ground. You got back up.
I got back up. He hit me in the back of the head. I don't know if it was with the bat or not. I assumed it was.
Okay.
Because he had it.
Okay. So he hit you in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And you go to the room.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know where Lori or Tylee are when you go back to the room.
Correct.
Okay. You come back from the room.
Yeah.
And you basically get you initial or mark kind of here on this corner.
Yeah.
That you're basically at the corner of the living room.
Well, this is a hallway here, so there's like a wall here that divides the kitchen.
Okay.
So I'm somewhere in this area.
Okay. And he's in the living room.
Yes.
And he still has the bat.
Yes.
Is he now focused at you, or is he
Yes.
focused at Lori?
He's
or-
focused at me. He's
Okay.
yelling at me, and then he moves towards me.
What was he saying to you? Do you remember?
Not really.
Okay.
I just remember yelling.
Okay.
And then I was watching more body language, and when someone aggressively comes at you.
Okay. Are you do you have your CCW?
Yeah.
Okay. So you so he's basically coming at you and he's yelling. You're watching his body language.
Yeah.
And you said you told him, and I didn't. When we're talking, I'm trying to not take notes and listen to what you're saying.
I'm trying to calm the situation.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop your bat, and he's fuck you and whatever
Okay.
coming at me.
Did you ever tell him to leave, or did you say drop the bat, or?
First, I just said drop the bat.
Okay. And then did you say anything else after that?
I didn't have time.
Okay. So he came after you with the bat.
Yeah.
He's kind of holding it in his hand.
I got in his right hand.
Okay. You fire a couple times.
Yep.
And then you go to the kitchen.
Correct.
And then back to the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. When you went back to the bedroom, you washed your hands.
No, I washed my
Or
hands in
sorry,
the
wash
kitchen.
your hands in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You put your gun back in your room.
Yeah.
Where'd you set it at?
It's on the floor.
Okay, so you set it on the floor. Get your phone.
Yep.
Call 911.
Yep.
And then when did you realize Lori had gone? Did you call her?
No.
Okay. So you called 911. Did you have to do CPR on him?
I did.
Okay.
I tried.
Okay. But you weren't on the. I must have mistaken you. I thought you said you were on the phone when.
Oh yeah, no.
Did you hear them arguing about his phone?
I don't. All I heard was her say, "Don't touch me," and then him coming right after her.
Okay. You said that a couple months ago, Tylee was at your house and he came over. What happened? Tell me a little bit more about that.
He was going insane trying to locate Lori because Lori wasn't talking to him.
Okay.
They had split up. So he was bugging everybody in the family, blowing up their emails, phones, just sending text messages, just anything he could do to try and get somebody to tell Lori to contact him. So he was just spazzing out. So Tylee and I were pulling up to my house, and he followed us, and then he sped up and blocked my driveway. And he got out and ran up to me real aggressively, like he was going to do something. And he just stopped and talked. And then Tylee got out and yelled at him. And then that lasted, I don't know, 15 minutes in the front.
Okay.
A lot of screaming Tylee at Charles, and Charles trying to leave and her not letting him because she wanted to get everything out that was bothering her.
Okay. So he didn't go after Tylee at that time.
Physically, he did not do anything.
Have you spent a lot of time around Charles?
Yeah.
Is he hot-headed?
Not normally.
Okay. So have you ever, besides the argument between him and Tylee, have you ever seen him like you saw him today?
No.
Okay.
No.
How would you describe him today?
Very aggressive.
Okay.
Physically aggressive. Going after Tylee, going after Lori, going after me.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen him behave like that. I was shocked.
Okay. How long have they been together?
15 years, maybe?
Okay.
Oh, a good while.
And did they live here before?
Yeah, they lived here a couple times.
Okay.
They lived here. They lived in Austin. Then they moved to Chandler.
What's up,
They moved to
Cherry?
Hawaii. And they moved back here. And then I think they split up. And then she went to live in Houston for 2 months, and that wasn't working out. So then she came back here and got a place.
Okay.
It seems to me like shit keeps
And
changing. I don't know.
Or she came back out here and got a place. How long ago was that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Done 2 months.
Okay. So the last couple months. But she never said anything about having you come over because she didn't feel safe with him or because he was showing up or anything like that. Okay. Is it normal for you?
She had expressed that he had threatened her in some email and text messages.
Okay.
Saying he was going to stop her or destroy her or something to that effect.
When did she tell you that?
Oh, I don't know. A couple weeks ago when she got the text.
Okay. So that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
we talked about it, but it wasn't anything.
Gotcha.
On
So
the top of my head.
you weren't under the impression that she had you there to make
No.
sure that he was,
No.
didn't cause an issue or anything like that. And you had the gun, so you didn't bring a gun for that purpose.
I always carry it.
Okay.
And I had my other gun in the truck, and my niece just gave me a gun. I thought we'd maybe go to the shooting range because my niece gave me a 380.
Okay.
She didn't want it anymore.
Gotcha.
So I was going to take it for my sister because she's got tiny hands. I was going to let her shoot it.
Okay. Just recreational for sport, not because
Always,
you felt she needed
always
it
target.
for
No, target.
self-protection or anything.
No, I consider Charles to be violent or a threat before today.
Okay. When you grabbed him, when he was going after Tylee and your sister, you grabbed him around the shoulder, you yanked him to the ground, but you never saw him swing the bat at you at that time.
Correct.
Okay. When you got up, what happened right after you got up?
Well, we went to the ground and separated, and then I was getting up like this, and just my head bounced.
Okay. So as you were getting up is when you felt the strike to the head. And then you got up. What did you do? Did you go?
I just went straight to the room.
Okay.
Because I said, hey, this needs to calm down.
Okay.
And that's what I was hoping would happen.
So when you got back with the gun, you were assuming that he was gonna.
I thought he would back down at that point.
Okay. And he didn't.
He did not.
Okay. Anything else you could think of that I need to know that we haven't talked about?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. You don't need any medical attention for your head?
I'd like to get that cut cleaned up.
Okay. I think we're almost done.
Yeah.
So if we're almost done, we'll probably get you and Lori and Tylee back to the house. You won't be able to go in.
Yeah.
Because we're working on this as a scene.
Absolutely.
How did the injury on your arm happen?
I'm guessing somewhere in the tussle.
Okay. Were there any strikes thrown besides you getting hit in the back of the head?
No, just me shoving him.
Okay. And that was initial in the bedroom.
That was when exactly.
Okay.
That's when I got involved.
Okay. And then the only other time he got physical with anybody is when he was going after Lori and Tylee, and you grabbed him around the neck.
Correct.
Dragged him back, and you both assaulted her.
That's correct.
Okay. No, we're just running a criminal history to make sure that you're not a prohibited possessor. So there's no felony convictions. No,
Correct. There was a confessed felony, aggravated assault.
Okay.
in Austin, Texas in 2007.
Have your rights been restored, or are you
Oh,
legally
yeah.
able to?
Yeah,
Okay, so your rights are restored. You're
all done.
able to possess
I was
firearms.
never convicted.
Oh, okay.
I pled guilty, but they had deferred adjudication in Texas, so I completed probation. And then
Gotcha.
that was that.
Okay, so it was an open-ended thing, so it's a
Yes.
misdemeanor now.
Well, whatever. It's just on there as a whatever. I don't know what the technical record is.
Okay.
I know I went to court and she said all your rights restored and gave me the paper and I'll find it.
Gotcha.
After 4 years.
All right, hang tight. I'm gonna go see if they're done with Lori. We'll get you guys all together so we can get you out of here. And just make sure that the people that are monitoring don't have any other questions that I need to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
And then he basically just sits there the rest of the time, and then they walk him out. So I'll go ahead and post this in the chat. And then we're going to switch to Court TV's biggest moments of week 2 for the trial. And then I'm going to go ahead and end it for the evening. Tomorrow night, we'll be getting into Melanie, Alex's widow, Alex's previous ex-wife. I mean, there's a whole bunch. There's cousins, there's friends of Alex. There's another one from Colby and one from the Woodcocks as well. So we'll get into all those tomorrow night. I just wanted to make sure that I showed the main players in all of this for tonight's show, the 3 that were at the scene of the crime. I don't know, like, it all seems pretty sketch. Each interview just seems that very interesting things are being said. And I don't know, I'm going to have to watch this one again because I don't know, it seemed like the story changed back and forth about a couple key points. So I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking shit. What did you think?
No, it's probably true.
It seemed like it was one thing, and then he got asked questions, then it changed to something else. Then when the guy came back in, then some of it slightly changed back to the beginning, but then some of it, I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to it again. Just to hear it again, just to make sure, because it really did seem like he changed it a few times. So this will be Court TV's biggest moments of week 2. And then just give some more updates at the end of the show. And then we'll be back tomorrow with more interviews. I don't know if any of these are really interrogations. They're just interviews, really.
Right.
Some people call them interrogations.
At one time, she was a contestant for Mrs. Texas, a blonde bombshell wife and fitness model. At another point, she was a loving adoptive mother of a special needs boy named JJ. Then, at a much darker point, she was part of a doomsday cult preparing for the end of times, declaring people as zombies. This is just a snapshot of the complicated, layered life of Lori Daybell, a woman married 5 times with 3 children, accused of killing one of those husbands, 2 of those children, and running off to Hawaii with her doomsday prophet husband, number 5. Now she's in Idaho on trial for the murder of those 2 children, JJ and Tylee, and Tammy Daybell, the first wife of that 5th husband. It's a trial filled with tales of money, sex, power, and religion. Tonight, we are live from Boise, Idaho, where the judge has banned cameras from the courtroom, but we are bringing you all the big moments with our correspondent, Chanley Painter, who has been inside the courtroom, and we are playing audio recordings of the most compelling testimony as our in-depth coverage of Idaho versus Lori Daybell, the Doomsday Cult Mom murder trial continues.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. We've covered a lot of cases, covered a lot of murder trials, and unfortunately, unfortunately, a few too many murder trials involving parents and children. It's tough. It's tough. Covered a lot of spousal murders too. And in these types of cases where it's one member of a family accused of murdering another member of the family, oftentimes the evidence it's tough to come by the evidence, right? You have to rely on perhaps forensics, maybe DNA, fingerprint, murder weapon, something like that. Usually don't have witnesses. In this case, there are witnesses with important information who've been testifying out in Idaho, taking us inside the world and literally inside the home of Lori Daybell. So important. I mean, this is, first of all, you've got to get inside this cult that was forming, right? This doomsday cult. And we've got members coming in and explaining what everyone was talking about. And then the circumstances, the disappearance and deaths of the children. All of this being discussed. A lot of observations because they're inside her home as well. So for prosecutors, in a case involving a parent accused of conspiring to murder, this one we've got witnesses. What we also have is Lori Daybell, Vallow Daybell, the defendant, speaking openly in this case and saying things that oftentimes in murder cases with parents, you're not going to get statements. Everything's behind closed doors. And then they don't talk. They just don't talk. That's not the case here. Lori Daybell's been speaking to those friends, cult members, etc. We've got her speaking to police. There's a lot of chatter from Lori Daybell that's being used against her. So you've got the witnesses, you've got the defendant's own words. And a lot of times, what you don't have in these cases where you're talking about spousal murder, right? In this case, Tammy Daybell, one of the victims in the case, is married to Lori's future husband, right? These relationships are often secretive. No one knows about it. They kind of hide, they sneak around. That's not the case here. That's not the case. We're openly cheating in front of people. It's out in the open. My goodness. It's at the track on the campus of BYU. A little PDA action there. Like, first of all, you're not supposed to do that. These two, why are you even doing that? But doing it openly, people can see it. People like friends, people who ended up being what? Witnesses in this case. So all these things, you're speaking about it and being very open about the cheating. I mean, these are facts in the case. These aren't like, the prosecutor is alleging. No, these are, come on, these are facts at this point. Super clear to everyone. Now, the question is, did they openly commit murder in this case? And when I say openly, I mean, are they doing it at a time and in a place where there are other people? And tonight we're going to talk about that on this program, because I think arguably there is evidence of it. Now, the actual murder itself, no. But the circumstances surrounding all of it is being done in front of people. You've got 3 people allegedly conspiring, but they're not alone. They're not alone when this is happening. Once again, I'll say investigators did a great job here uncovering and unearthing literally all of the evidence in this case. So the pressure's on the prosecution to bring it home because the evidence is there, I believe. But can you marshal the evidence? Can you get this jury focused on the elements of the crime? Can you tie Lori to this conspiracy? That challenge. All right, we're at the end of the week. It was a big inside that courtroom. Normally what I would do right now is I would roll out a montage and show you all these great moments, all the video of all these big things that have happened in the courtroom, but we can't do that because the judge has banned cameras from the courtroom. They haven't banned Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter, and she is with me live outside the courthouse in Boise, Idaho tonight. Chanley, I mean, I'm exhausted here in the studio. I know there's the adrenaline out there as well, right? When all this new information is being uncovered and you're covering it. But my guess is this weekend, Chanley's going to crash, rest up, and then get ready for next week. So usually at this point of the show, we do the 3 big moments of the day, but let's take a look at the whole week here. Let's take a look inside your reporter's notebook at your 3 big moments from this week. What do we have?
Great to be with you, Victor, but plenty happened this week, and yeah, those 12-hour days do catch up with you, so I look forward to resting up because I already have my ticket for Monday morning inside that courtroom, week 3. But let's look back at this week because for my reporter's notebook tonight, I wanted to focus on Lori's own words. What did the jury hear this week from Lori herself? Because this is a trial, Vinny, as you said, she may not take the stand and tell the jury herself answers that they want to know about what happened. So what have they heard? Well, I think this number 1 moment, Vinny, may be the biggest moment of the entire trial at the end of this, and that is when her son Colby Ryan took the stand earlier this week and how the tensions ran high inside the courtroom, but it peaked when a jailhouse phone call was made by him to her. She's incarcerated. His siblings are found in her new husband's backyard, and this is how she handled that call. Let's watch.
I don't have anything else to say. You obviously don't know. You weren't there. You weren't there. Summer wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. The police weren't there. The FBI weren't there.
Your
Nobody
mom was there?
was there. Yeah, and guess what? They know. They know exactly what happened. And they love me. And we're still together forever. They love me. And they are fine. And they do know the truth. And I know the truth. And we're the only people that do. So you can judge me, Colby, all day long. Go ahead and judge me.
I wonder where they got their audio, because the one we watched was way better than this.
You don't know. You know what I've been through, and you didn't even give a crap what they've been through. Nobody does. Except for me. I'm the one that knows.
That was some pretty interesting stuff when it did come out
Vinny,
this
what
week.
an agonizing phone call. At one point, she laughs as he's trying to confront her, demanding
giggles at him.
answers. And she's saying, oh, JJ, Tylee, they're fine. They love me. We're still together. One day, Colby, you'll understand. Bizarre, odd responses from the woman, this jury looking at her while this is being played. And of course, at one point, Colby himself, this while it's being played, the moment she laughs in the call, he darts his eyes over, glares at her in that moment. I mean, that to me may have even sealed the deal. Who knows, Vinny?
It's extremely powerful because it's coming from another family member. That's what makes this
your son.
So extraordinarily different than all the other evidence. There's so many times in these cases where, a jury's going to look for a little help. Okay, or you're a family member. That's your mom. That's your mom. And you think she did this. You're calling her a murderer. That is powerful stuff. That is persuasive stuff because it can put a jury in a comfort zone where, okay, her own son is calling her a murderer. So how much of a leap is it for us if we believe the evidence is there to come to that conclusion? Right. Such an important moment. The other thing about this phone call that is so significant, it's the tone of it as well. The tone. And she may not take the stand. She may not have to answer tough questions, but Colby did that. This was her cross-examination. This was really the day for the jury to judge her.
Exactly, Vinny. And this is likely not the only jailhouse phone call they will hear. Of course, they heard that awkward phone call between her and her new husband when his house and his backyard being searched. He's in the driveway and hello, talk to me later. He's arrested. So they've heard that. But this one, very different, right? He's calling his mother a murderer and accusing her of murdering his siblings. He's that confident in that, how powerful that is to a jury. But also, we expect Lori's sister, Summer Shiflett, to take the stand. And she also called Lori in jail. And from what I'm hearing, it's even more contentious, Vinny, than what we heard from Colby. So more to come for this jury.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. That's number one. What do you have at number 2 this week?
Okay, more of Lori's words, and this one also revealing this is how the week culminated. So yesterday we have Detective Stubbs from the Rexburg Police Department on the stand. He is one of the officers who conducted the welfare check for JJ Vallow, November 27th, 2019. After Kay Woodcock called, hadn't heard from JJ in so long. So several detectives show up at this apartment complex. I've been there. They knock on the door and the jury sees body cam video. Of course, our cameras aren't in the courtroom. We are not able to bring the actual body cam, but I was able to watch it, and it shows Lori in her kitchen living room area, black sweatshirt, her hair's all done, she's makeup on, and she's working these officers as best she can to manipulate this story about JJ being in Arizona. Well, we do have the audio from the welfare check that we can play from yesterday. This is what the jury heard. They also saw it, but let's watch.
What happened was my husband, we were married for 18 years and had raised all these 5 kids together, switched his life insurance policy to her, right? To his sister, who got $1 million when he died, and we got nothing. For me to raise JJ, and all the kids got nothing, and everybody got nothing. She got $1 million. So I knew she was going to try to sue me for him, or she got us $1 million, so she can hire people now, and I have nothing.
But you have legal custody.
He's my son. I adopted him. He was 2 years. We got him from the time he was 8 months old till 2 years old. She does nothing unless to cause me trouble. So I don't tell people the truth about where we are, what we're doing, because of those reasons. So I look like a suspect, but I am not a good person. Raised all of my kids. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do in life. But everyone's causing me trouble right now.
She goes on to say that her other brother, Adam Cox, who we also expect to testify, is out to get her. He's going to murder her for her $2 million life insurance policy. And she says, hey, I just don't want to be found. People are after me. Kay Woodcock's the devil.
$2 million.
And she's just weaving this. And then these officers already know that she is married to Chad Daybell, and both he and her and Alex are pretending they don't know each other, and it's just red flag after red flag. And what a moment that was for this jury to see that body cam yesterday.
And I think they'll also take away from that. This is a welfare check for JJ Vallow, a little boy with special needs. And what is she talking about? Herself.
Right.
Herself. To me, that speaks volumes about who she is. And to me, if I'm on that jury, I think it's a lot, again, trying to make it easier for a jury to believe and understand that a mother could do this to her 2 children. When everyone's looking for little JJ, she's talking about herself. And I think the jury will get that vibe, especially if there are any parents on that jury. Big. Anytime you hear from the defendant, I mean, it's so significant, so important, and this is so close to the time. All right, what do you have for number 3?
So number 3, also Lori's own words. Now, the jury didn't see the body cam video after Charles Vallow's death, but the prosecution, over defense repeated objection, has been able to give these jurors insights to what happened to Lori's 4th husband being shot by her brother, Alex Cox, by detective after detective from the Arizona Police Department, Chandler, Arizona Police Department. And they're hearing the detectives describe what we're seeing right now. Lori's demeanor, her words, her behavior after her 4th husband is murdered, well, allegedly by her brother. So we do have sound from the detective Cassandra Weichland from the Chandler PD, who interacted with Lori, who describes her behavior as odd. Let's watch.
Oh, cool.
She didn't have much of a reaction when she was informed that Charles was deceased. She had responded that she already knew. She appeared calm, very non-emotional,
Right.
was kind of hanging out and seemed to be just having kind of some general conversation, not really upset, just kind of at one point she was laughing, just kind of was standing around.
So that's the description the jury is hearing, that they can look at Lori in the courtroom and see kind of her odd demeanor there and listen to the other audio and put two and Cam Vinny just to put Officer Weichland's words into focus of what she was talking about. Let's watch.
We just moved in here.
Gotcha. How long have you guys lived here?
I'm sorry?
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
She likes to laugh a lot in those moments, and so who knows if the jury will actually be able to watch that, but that's exactly what the officer was describing.
Okay, a human being has just been killed, has been shot and killed. If you are there when any human being dies, you would expect some sort of, oh my goodness, type of reaction. Now you take it a step further. This is a man that she was married to for 15 years. The father of her son, husband, is shot and killed. And there's no, this is unreal. This is unreal. If the jury sees, the description was great, by the way, by the officer. So I think just that description can get it done. But if they see the video, that's another huge, huge problem for Lori Daybell. I mean, all of this doesn't add up. I mean, if you've got folks who are regular folks in that jury, I mean, this is just not the way normal people act and react to these extreme, and to be so calm with death. You've been around it before. Like, oh yeah, husband number 3 is dead, by the way.
Wow, they just end it like that? Okay. That's weird.
Right.
Oh, come on, YouTube. It like always moves this stuff off, like it just never stays in the same spot. All right, there we go. We'll just end it there. Go ahead and end the evening. That was a lot to watch and sit through, and not much chatting, but you know, we had to pay attention to all the movements.
I think we lost a few people.
It's all right. They might have fell asleep. But that's, you know, that's what these, you know, it's going to be a lot of just staying focused, you know, and I'm sure the replay will hit it up. But very interesting stuff. Especially with this is what I'm wondering. Do you think she's going to go on the stand? You think she's gonna sit back, or you think she's gonna go up there?
I don't see her testifying, but I could be wrong. I mean, she's so narcissistic that
that's what I was
she might
say.
think the only way to get the jury to believe her is if she talks.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I wonder if the narcissism will take over and she'll be like, you know what? Because it almost seems like she just says shit expecting people to believe what she says, no matter what she says or how she acts. You know, like she's so confident in what
she's probably always gotten away with telling stuff, stories and stuff, and people believing her.
Yeah, but when it comes to unaliving people, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'll be back on. We'll have some more. This is going to be actually interviews tomorrow, not crime scene questions and stuff. It's actually going to be, you know, the grandparents, her son Colby, Melanie, her friend, we'll probably get into hers first, and then we'll kind of get to other family members. Alex's ex-wife, his widow. Those will be interesting because I think when the widow, or maybe it's the ex-wife, one of them talks about the interesting relationship that Alex and Lori had. So I think
That's
that'll
the
be interesting.
ex-wife.
Yeah, I
That's
think
the
that's going to
ex-wife.
be interesting to hear that too, because I haven't heard that yet either. So yeah,
I've heard
It'll-
it, but you'll be interested in hearing it. Trust me.
oh yeah. Yeah, I'll probably check out Melanie's first, and well, maybe we will go into it because we ended it with Alex. Maybe we will start off with Alex's widow and ex-wife, then get into Melanie, then we'll get into the other family members. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out.
All right.
Appreciate it. Sorry if you fell asleep.
You're welcome. I didn't fall asleep. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just sitting here. It's like it was a movie. Just sitting here, kind of sucked into it all, just paying attention to everything they were saying and how they were acting, body movements and such. But thank you.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. Hope you have a
Okay,
good night.
I will see you tomorrow. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Oh, shoot. Whoops. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with some of those other. It's going to be, especially the grandparents. I think the grandparents is going to be very interesting. Another interview with Colby, where he talks about how he feels about things after he learns about the M charge. So I think it's going to be interesting what he says, because the interview we watched last night, the raw interview from 2020 that we did with the TV station, we learned a lot from that. That was from a couple years ago. So this one's like from a year ago or so, and kind of gets into a little bit of a conversation about how he feels after he learns the charge against his mother. It'll all be interesting. Plus, I want to learn more about this Melanie. Kitty and Pam are talking about how she is suspicious as well. So, very interested to hear what Melanie has to say to Ellie when it comes to all this too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hope you have a peaceful and positive evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern.
She got the way to move me. She got the way to move me. She got